Hey, what's going on? Let me just go through these intros. Welcome back to the dating coach panel. It's pretty simple. We have dating coaches on all at once and run through some questions so we can understand all the angles of various topics in game. Right after the success of the Asian panel last year, the Asian special last year, I received a lot of demand for an African American special. Today, we're finally having our African American special.
African American.
Yeah, that is what I was saying.
Black, African. It all sounds horrible, but go ahead.
Yeah, and
I
I,
know
I would really
I'm getting through
qualify if it's
this.
African American.
I'm getting through this, trust me. Where was I? Today we're finally having it, our special, so we could take a deeper dive into the experience of African men, African American men, Jamaican men, and so on. As per our tradition of special panels like this, could you briefly tell us a bit of family ancestry, maybe you're Jamaican, Nigerian, African American, for example, and where you're joining from? Kieren, you want to take us first with that?
All right, so I'm Kieran. I'm from England. Now, my family is Jamaican. But here's the thing. As my family are Jamaican, well, Jamaica didn't exist like 500 years ago. Jamaica only exists because West African slaves were taken there during slavery. So I've done my DNA, I've had it tested. I'm actually 50% Nigerian and 50% Ghanaian. So if I was dead and they tested my DNA, actually I'm an African Nigerian man. But here we go. That's basically my ancestry.
Interesting. Miles, how about you? And Kieran, where are you calling in from?
Oh, I'm in Dubai right now.
Dubai.
Yeah,
Interesting. All good.
yeah.
Miles, what about you?
Hey, what's up? It's Miles Cunningham, masculineidentity.com. So yeah, my and as far as I've never done like the whole ancestry thing. But I was born in Jamaica and my family's from Jamaica. And and that's pretty much
What part of Jamaica?
um so we got a my mom's side is from the province called Pembrokeshire, and my dad's
Mm.
side is from a province called Bartons near St. Elizabeth.
Okay, my mom's from St. Elizabeth, so there we go.
Okay.
Small world.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Where are you calling in from?
Calling in from the East Coast of the United States. I don't really talk about my state location too much.
He's
Yeah,
keeping
because
it
these guys
secret.
is weird out here. They try
We
to
we
they
get
try to
yeah,
stalk
well,
you.
Yeah, but I'm on the East Coast. I mean, I'm on Eastern I'm on Eastern time, and I'm in the United States of America. That's all I want to say.
secretly
Mm.
he's in the West or he's in Hawaii. But we know how it is. We had
Right.
on one of the previous panels with Steve was there and Mr. Locario was there. You guys know the deal. Steve, what about you?
Man, I'm a man, and that's about it. In the central, like Miles, I'm in Texas. I'm in Texas. Born in DC. Born in the East Coast. So
Anything about ancestry or family, or you want to skip that?
no. I don't. That's no. I learned about that, but yeah. I have my ancestry inside of me, so I represent them.
All right. And Mr. Lucario, once again, International Space Station. It looks like are you? This is some interesting wallpaper thing. It's crazy.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah, I'm in a undisclosed location, man, just chilling. Uh,
In a secret bunker.
what's my family? My father's side of his family's from Jamaica, my mother's side of his family's from Guatemala, and all that other good stuff. You know, it just feels weird too, because I had hit ice on the back end. I was like, the African panel, what is but I know he has like this theme where he likes to so I was like, hey, but yeah, I'm just, I'm a man first. You know what I'm saying? Everything
Yeah,
else
yeah.
falls after that. You know
I'm
what I mean?
I'm way too focused on my masculine identity to even cry racism here.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to the racist panel.
I'm
Here we go.
Exactly.
way too focused on who I am to worry about it. Like, fuck it, let's go talk about it.
Alrighty. I'll just get a good. Yeah, since I'm the host, I just need to clarify something. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not American. There we go. The joke's out the way. Super chats. Drop a super chat to ask a question. Questions for all panelists are prioritized. That's why we're all here. $5 USD or more, increasing as we go on. Check the chat for details. White man asks black people some race-based questions. What could possibly go wrong? But just to
Exactly.
keep things
Let's do
real,
this.
just to be real, I personally don't like to use terms like black and white because there's the implication of brown, yellow, red, and so on. And some of those are considered racist. My surname is White, and I probably have the whitest name you ever heard. But some questions I read might be phrased in various ways since some of them come in from a variety of places. I don't even like the term race. I think Miles was pretty much talking about this because our race is the same, human. But do let me know if there's need to correct something that could be deemed inappropriate. But otherwise, let's dive straight into these questions. Gotta scroll down here. First one, what are some issues black clients come to you for that are somewhat unique or common to black guys specifically?
So I'll go for this first. One thing I've noticed in my time as a coach is that I've had a very, very, very small number of black clients, which don't really surprise me at all because unlike most cultures in the world, black men on the whole are kind of socialized to know what they're doing with women from the get-go. So like a lot of the miseducations that say like white men will receive, a lot of black men don't really get. That said, though, I have had some issues from black clients, and the issues that I tend to get with them is that you have a black man who wants to date outside his race, but doesn't really know how to do it. So he wants to be able to attract Asian women, but he's not sure how to attract Asian women because he doesn't know how to speak to them or position himself to them in a way that's going to be attractive to them. So I would say that's the main one I've seen really. Or I might have a black man who's from, let's say, a region of Africa where, for one reason or another, he's been socially conditioned to be very polite and very reserved, very unassuming, to be not confident at all. Kind of like the traditional kind of Asian cultural upbringing. So I've had like clients like that as well, where they're just so in their heads completely that they just don't know how to be fun and to let go around a woman. But those are the two things I see.
I would say this. It's not really. So I would say this. It's not really a thing about their race. It's just that they're insecure. Period. So because they're insecure, and if the client happens to be black, he's gonna say some insecure shit like, "Man, it's probably because I'm black, which is why I'm having trouble with attracting women." You see what I'm saying? So it's getting guys out of the mindset that, trying to think that, oh, well, it's my race that's holding me back versus it's just that it's them. They actually have a problem in the situation. Because the thing is, when it comes to attracting women, I keep telling you guys, it's about man and woman first. You understand what I'm saying? Like a woman, like I'll put it this way. I've had sex with white women who don't even like black guys. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning like when I say they don't like black guys, what I'm saying is that they've been brought up in families that are racist. They'll say, oh, well, I don't want anyone to know that we're fucking, but they want to fuck. You understand what I'm saying? So it's if the woman is attracted to you, she's attracted to you sexually. You see what I'm saying? So that's really what it is. It's not really a big deal. It's just guys who are insecure having an issue. And if I'm talking to a black client and he uses his race as an excuse, then it's just he's using that as an excuse because he's insecure. That's really where it comes from.
I guess for me, I don't look at it. I'll always look at things as a mindset. So I would say I kind of split black men into two different categories. Okay, but the first category is there's a lot of black men that's no different than any other race of men. They just don't know women. That's all. They just don't know how to talk to women, approach women, anything like that. They're awkward. I mean, that's the majority of these black men, green, blue, purple, or whatever color they are.
Right.
That's just one side. Then that's one side of the coin. Then you have the other side of the coin where, and I will never blame single mothers or all this stuff that the red pill or these manosphere people always complain about. But then you have the black man that doesn't want to learn. He thinks he knows everything. He doesn't know anything at all, but then he doesn't want to learn. He challenges. It's like he wants to scream for help, but he doesn't want to get help because he thinks he knows it all. You know what I mean? He thinks he's the one that has a lot of problems, but he's the one that says, well, Locario, you ain't this, or Miles, you're not this, or Steve, you're not that, and I don't need to listen to y'all. I know y'all are old and y'all are ancient and y'all are washed up. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. So that I split them like that with attitude. Again, I won't look at a black man no different than looking at anybody else. Help is help. So I don't really look at them like that. But what I look at is those who want help versus those who really, really need help that will challenge us black men as what we're doing. And they would challenge proof, social proof or anything they just they want to attack because they're so frustrated with women they can't get pussy. They're mad at the ones who can get pussy, but they don't want the help. So I separate them like that.
I got a question for you. So that second man that you were talking about who doesn't want to listen and he's
Yes.
like, you don't know shit, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Is that a man who's actually signed up to coaching with you?
No. Well, no. Those are the unteachable, but sometimes they come in and they don't want to listen. They're more they think they know it and they want to talk more than listen. So I mean, I'm saying that some of them do cross over, but the majority of them would rather ridicule or have a crab in a bucket mentality to say that, who the fuck are you? You can't teach me anything. You don't know anything or something like that. I mean, you got those kind, but sometimes they come around, but they are always trying to down black, the ones that I know, because I spend time with a lot of black men and they don't down us because, a person can't down a man. But what I'm saying is that they don't want to learn. I mean, and again, it's not just black. So I don't want to make it like a black thing. I'm just saying we're just talking about black men. So what I've seen is that they think they need more help, but they just don't know how to ask for it. So they rather try to tear those down who can help versus ask for help.
Could you repeat the question?
Alrighty. Here it is. What are some issues black clients you for that are somewhat unique or common to black guys?
I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I have clients from I've had Asian clients, I've had German clients, I've had African clients, white clients, and it's all the same to me.
Right.
Like when I really look at the collection of problems and issues, it's kind of all the same. I mean, every once in a while you might have a guy that says, you see, and even when I try to pick one, I can also remember some white German dude saying the same damn thing where like they'll say like, oh well, I grew up in a family where they didn't teach me a lot of confidence and my dad wasn't there, but I've heard a guy from another ethnicity say the same damn thing, so it's really not that much of a difference. I think the overall issue in general is just a lack of confidence. Like a lot of dudes it's hard for them to believe in themselves. And I think if I had to say something to answer your question, I would say that a lot of guys, they lean into the, black man woe is me thing when it comes to their lack of confidence. So I guess if I have to answer the question, I'll just say that they kind of use the whole race baited blackness thing as the reason why they don't have a lot of confidence, because society has told them different narratives of why the black man, is a certain way. And so it stops them from believing in themselves and having a certain level of confidence.
Don't forget the hatred of black women. They hate. Golly, they think every black woman has a bad attitude. So it's weird to me. Yeah. So
Hold Locario, are you saying then that a lot of black men, it's not that they're unsure of their ability to attract women outside the race, as in I'm a black man, I can't get an Indian woman, I'm a black man, I can't get a Latina, but even black women as well. So he's feeling like the entire world is against him dating in a dating and sexual manner. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, some of them do. Some of them do. You know what I mean? And again, it's just so what happens is that when you're having trouble in the dating game, if we're talking about, is that you have to find some way to rationalize why you're losing.
Right.
So then they'll say, oh, well, it got to be because I'm black, or it has to be something in that sort of like vein. So it's like that's the thing that they have to draw to. You see what I'm saying? But the thing that people got to
get that, but how's that work with black women?
Are you talking about like if they're
yeah,
well,
like
basically
if a black man's trying to get a black woman and he can't get a black woman, then how's he gonna say I can't get her because I'm black? Because
then he'll say it's because they want guys who are thugs and Pookie and Ray Ray and all that other stuff.
And Ray,
right?
Yeah.
So then they'll be like, well, I'm a nice, upstanding gentleman, and I go to school, and I'm I pay my taxes and all this other stuff, and then so these black women don't want me because I'm not a thug. You see what I'm saying? So they'll go into that sort of bag. So it's always going to be something that has to be a rationalization as to why they can't make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But it all stems from insecurity. And so that's what I'm saying, where at the end of the day, it's just them being insecure and they're trying to find a reason why they're not getting what they're getting. So the reason they pick is because I'm a black guy, or if I'm a black guy and I can't get black woman, it's because I'm not a thug. You see what I'm saying?
Also their ignorance of the black manosphere. The black manosphere has really screwed these guys over. They just as bad as the manosphere. It's just they will latch on to people that can't get women and give them excuses to hate women, just like the red pill in the other manosphere for other races. So it's still the same thing.
Yeah, I want to say this real quick. It seems to me that it's like the surface level narrative of why they come to us for coaching can have racist explanations, but as a coach, your job is to get to the underlying, to the deeper reason, and it's always just a lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Like no matter who you are, black, white, whatever, if you don't believe in yourself, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Right. That's a fact.
Any other perspectives on this?
Say again?
Well, I'll just hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You good?
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, every client I have ever coached, at the core, I mean, he might come up to me and he goes, Kieren, I want to fuck as many girls as possible. And it's like, yeah, on the surface you do, but like you just said there, it's actually always a lack of confidence, that he doesn't feel like he's good enough. That when he looks in the mirror, he doesn't actually like what he sees. That when he hears his voice, he doesn't like his voice. That when what he thinks about or what he thinks of himself is just poor. And that when he's in front of women, he basically feels like he's ripping them off in some way. And that causes this huge disconnect, which just doesn't allow him to be his best possible self around women. I think no matter what race the man is, that's 99.9 recurring percent of the time, that's the issue.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty. On to the next question then. What are some countries where you have had a lot of success with dating as a dark guy?
You say as a dark guy? Is that
Dark guy.
He's talking to you, Locario.
Is that bad or?
Yeah.
What is the word?
I ain't dark, you know.
What is wrong with y'all with these?
I think
Ice, what's up with you with
Some
these
of us
questions,
are kind of
man?
caramel out here.
What is up with you with these questions?
What could go wrong, right? Right, Ice?
Exactly.
What could go wrong, but
the dark guy.
This
is what happens when you do these type of panels,
from
man.
some strange places. I don't know.
Oh my God! Listen,
so you're saying as a black gentleman or as a actually darker melanated gentleman? What do you say?
Yeah, which one are you saying?
Is my connection having a little issue?
Is a little...
Yeah, let's just say as
a black guy.
The black guy. You say black. It's okay.
We're just some Indians there, but we're gonna focus on black today.
Right. Right. I mean, well, the thing is, and this is why some of these questions are funny to me, because it all boils down to the man. So no matter, like, anywhere I've been, I've never had an issue attracting women, because the thing is, I'm the common denominator. So whether I'm in New York, Hawaii, Brazil, wherever. You understand? Jamaica, it's the same outcome. So what happens is that most guys, because they are only able to get women in certain places, they think, well, if I'm black, I should go to this country, or if I'm black, I should go this place, and then I'll be able to attract women. Well, what happens is that if that's the case, then that means you're not attractive. So I would say, like, anywhere I've been, I've never been like, damn, because I'm here, this is like tough, or it's tough here, so I should go over here. So that's never happened for me.
So here's what I'll say to that. I will say that on a person-to-person basis, in terms of me being out and about on the street or in bars and clubs meeting women, it don't matter where I am. However, what I have noticed is that my success on dating apps does vary greatly depending on where I am. If like the woman just sees my image and isn't able to feel my vibe and my energy. So personally, I'll say this: world cities like a London, a Miami, a New York, a Dubai, a Sydney, places like that, absolutely fantastic. Places like Brazil, fantastic. Africa, fantastic. Arab countries, surprisingly, actually fantastic. Places where not doing so well, I would say places like Croatia, countries like that, Croatia, Russia, and these sorts of places, or anywhere that's let's say kind of like smaller and less developed. So in person, no issue whatsoever. But in terms of dating apps, it can vary greatly depending on where I am.
Okay.
Am I sorry guys, am I experiencing some connection issues, or is it one of you guys?
Kieren is kind of frozen on my end.
Yeah, I'm frozen on my end as well.
Okay.
Seems like it.
I mean, we can hear you.
All
but
right, hold on. Yeah, you know what? I'll see if I can like come out and come back in or something. Hold on.
Alrighty, let's continue. Any other perspectives on this?
Yes, it doesn't matter where you go. Like me personally, I can't say that I've seen a difference. It's really up to me. So
yeah,
I've had success everywhere I've been.
Yeah, I've never ever looked at a place and said that, well, I can't get. I mean, I can get wherever because I believe in me. So I don't ever see a place that's like, oh my God, I can't get.
Alrighty, let's move on to another one. Let's see. What are the key differences between dating within the Black community versus outside of it?
Wait, say the question again. Sorry.
What are the key differences between dating within the Black community versus outside of it?
Nothing. I like it's
nothing.
So okay.
I'll say this. One key difference is that, because I'll say this, I am a social racist. Okay, so what I mean is there's certain jokes that you can make. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're people watching and then you might make a racist joke or ethnic joke or something like that, or you play on the stereotypes. So because I'm Black, sharing those type of jokes with a Black woman just hits better, or it hits a certain specific way. So I would say but for me, that's the main difference. Like just the overall African American experience, I guess, if you want to say, there's like there's at least some sort of mutual understanding to some extent. But after beyond that, it's not much of a difference dating, in or outside of your race, in my opinion.
I see.
Or in my experience.
Kieren, you on mute, Kieren. You got to take yourself off mute.
Yeah, cool. Women are basically women, no matter where you go in the world. There's 90% they're the same. There might be 10% of regional cultural difference, but by and large, it's the same. What I will say is this: I mean, if I'm dating a woman who isn't Black, I can tell the women who fetishize Black men and the women who are just like they will date anybody. Because there's times where I'll be with some girl and she's like, yeah, fuck me with your big Black cock. And I hear that a lot. And it's like, why are you constantly referring to my Black dick? It's like I'm clearly an other to you. There's you, and then there's me, but you don't think we're the same thing, which is why you're referring to the color of my dick. So like, I get that, but by and large, yeah, people are just people.
The element of just the exotic factor, I think, is a phrase people use a lot for stuff like this. Just like when you go somewhere else, like I'm in Peru right now, and you wouldn't consider white people exotic, but if you're living in an exotic place, you're just different. So I would consider myself an exotic person. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, never happens to me. Someone says, "Oh, I went to suck your big white cock, your big Jewish penis," or
You need to
happens
go to
all the
China and
time, guys.
Japan.
Happens all the time.
Uh,
Only in China. Only in China.
Hilarious.
Shall we move on to another one?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
That seems pretty much covered. What are your thoughts on the passport bros movement and black man dating abroad?
Passport bros is a bunch of suckers that ain't got no game that have to go overseas to get box and basically be able to attract women under a societal structure that makes it feasible for them to do so. You understand what I'm saying? So what happens is that there's nothing wrong with guys going, traveling, having fun, doing their thing. It's another thing when you have to do that. So there's a difference between doing something because, hey, I want to go here and just have fun and do what I do versus I can't get no box unless I go over here. You understand what I'm saying? And so what happens is just that it's cheaper tricking. So meaning that they're tricking over there, but it's cheaper, which is why they're going over there to trick. And, it's a little bit more feasible for them to do it there. You understand? But yeah, a lot of guys unfortunately think that they have to go overseas in order to get women because they don't, have any game, so they can't do it wherever they're at. Just like we was talking about earlier, is there a difference between you interacting with women here or in different areas? It's like you're the common denominator. So if you can't get it done and you have to go overseas to get it done, then that's the issue. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like a sickness to me. It's if you have people that are going to mess with third world country bitches and shit that, all fucked up, they'll do anything for like a chicken or with a fucking peso or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? And these guys are taking advantage of just prostitutes. It's it's like a sickness. I mean, if you think about it, think about the money that you have to spend to travel just for what, 10 seconds of a nut, you know what I mean? So, but the thing is that they don't understand is that they're not fucking women there. They're fucking whores. I mean, because people think because a woman speaks a different language, they can't recognize a bitch. And women in every country recognize bitch ass people from their country. So a normal woman that has class, just a normal woman, and we're about foreign, they're normal women, they're not just going to sleep with someone that's coming in town like a prostitute. So these guys are just fucking whores. That's all they're doing. They're flying down, fucking a whore, and hanging out with them and trying to have a relationship with them. So they're not, but it's just they're so broken inside that they just think spending all that money on a whore is special. Like they think they're flossing by fucking someone that once they leave, the next guy comes in. It's like it's a rotation. It's kind of like, matter of fact, if you look at Taken, it's kind of like that. Sometimes these guys grab whores off the street, clean them up, and you have guys talking to the men online. So it's a lot of game being run on in the third world countries, but at the end of the day, they're just fucking whores.
So I'm gonna respectfully disagree with a lot of what you just said.
Mr. Dubai. Yep.
He's like,
yeah,
like, fuck all that.
I don't think Dubai counts as third world, but anyway, let me say this. I think it's very sad that men nowadays feel like they need to do that.
Oh, this was bad from the beginning.
That's right. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, I guess we should wait for him to get back.
Oh, he's coming on. He's back on.
He come back on? Okay. All right, cool.
All right, sweet. So yeah, I think it's very sad that men nowadays feel like they actually need to do this, and that they're in a world where they've been lied to about how to be attractive to women, and they're in a situation where the average woman has so many options, way more options than the average man, and the average woman is going for a tier of man that the average man feels like he can't compete with and has never really been shown how to actually do so. Now he should learn. I'm not saying he shouldn't. Of course, he should. That's what we all show men how to do. But I'm saying I empathize with men being in that situation and not actually knowing how to get out of it. I
Why?
do. Now, what? Huh?
Why? Why, Kieren?
Why?
Yeah, are you serious?
Because I can put myself in people's situation and I can empathize with what it's like to
Wait,
be someone.
hold on. So if okay, I don't mean to correct you on live YouTube, but so empathize means you've been through it. Sympathize means you can mentally put yourself in their situation. So it's you got
empathy. No. Empathy means that you're putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
But why would you do that? What man does that? Men don't
Why
do that.
not?
Because
As a men don't do that.
Okay,
It just allows you to understand the world.
No, I don't need to understand the world.
Because like I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying that this man should do this. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying, oh yeah, just let guys be passport bros and they shouldn't try and better themselves. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I have empathy for what it is that's called
losers. Winners don't have empathy. Losers. Why should you? Only a loser has his own.
Yeah, but okay, so we come at this from a different perspective because
I like to hear this.
My empathy allows me to help the men that I coach because I know what they're going through and I know how to guide them out of where they are to where they want to be.
Wait. We all know what they're going through, but what they're going through is why they're going through it. See, all coaches are not equal because if you have to, if you empathize with somebody, that means you want to put your arm around them and coddle these motherfuckers, man. But what you're saying is they're fucked up in their head, dog, and that's the truth. I mean, why?
No, but hold on. But the thing is this.
Yes, what's up?
Okay, but bro, I'm not saying that what they're doing is good and that they should do it. But at the end of the day, it's like if you have someone who's been, let's say you got a child who's been abused, and the child goes and does some crazy shit for being abused. It's like, oh yeah, well, the abuse is gonna likely cause that outcome. I'm just saying that I can see how we live in a world that creates men who happen to be passport bros. Right. That's one thing.
No, I get that.
That's basically all I'm saying. So you don't have to say, oh my God, I can't believe that this is happening and it shouldn't happen at all. And it's crazy that it's happening. Just because I can see that 2 + 2 = 4, that's it. Well, I'm just saying, 2 + 2 = 4. I can see how this situation is here.
But winners win and winners teach losers how to win. And the first thing you gotta do is you gotta open their eyes and say you're a fucking loser, fucking whores, and think you're doing something. They actually think they're winning when they're actually.
But so here's another thing. So you said losers and fucking whores, and the thing is this: it's like
they're whores.
I get why you think that, but like, okay, I lived in Bali for a while. But why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because wait, you're telling me a loser who can't even talk to an American woman thinks just because he goes to a bitch that says, "Hey, how you doing? You want to fucky, sucky?"
No, but what I'm trying to say is, okay, have you done much traveling overseas?
Have I tried? Yeah, I travel.
No, because you say, oh, like sucky. What I'm saying is like I've been to first world countries and I've been to third world countries. And what I'm saying is the women in these third world countries aren't what you're thinking, like, oh, blah, 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 sucky. It's not like that at all.
No.
So like, for instance, in Bali, loads of intelligent women in Bali. They're intelligent, they're cultured. However, they do not like, okay, so what basically goes on is this. You're some woman in Bali and a man who's got money, like, bro, like, you don't have to be.
Right, a mark. A man that has money is a mark.
No. Well, I'm just explaining what's actually going on. All I'm saying to you is this idea that all of these women are whores is actually not true.
Okay, well,
what is the money part? Kieren, what does the money part have to do with it if they're not whores?
Because what I'm basically saying is this, right? And this is the actual, I'm just trying to like lay out a scenario, which is you get women who are from a world that is less developed, right? And as well as being from that world that's less developed, they have access to Netflix, Amazon Prime, and things like this. And they see depictions of the West and TV, media, songs, etc. In their eyes, a man from the West carries status. We all know the power of status, right? So like some average man from America goes to Bali, right? Now, when he steps foot into Bali, he is one of the most eligible bachelors in Bali.
Why?
He is.
He's not.
Why? Because, okay, for instance, he's more intelligent than the local
No, he's
men.
not.
Wait,
No,
where'd you get
but
this
bro,
from?
I've actually lived there.
But buddy,
I'm telling you. I've lived there for a year and a half.
Let me help you with the
I'm
game.
just telling you.
Okay, all right. Okay, watch this. Okay, let's say a Croatian woman. Wait, Filipino or whatever, right? Let's say Filipino woman. Okay, Filipino woman meets her own kind that has a certain kind of attitude that is soft and effeminate. So she'll label him a fucking loser. Now, this guy that comes over, regardless of his money and how high status he is, the moment he opens his bitch ass mouth, she's gonna recognize he's no different than the loser that's here, and she's gonna run game on him. Women run game.
What I'm trying to say is, I'm actually speaking from experience and actually having seen this personally, right? The man who's going to the Philippines or to Bali from America actually has more game than the local men. He actually does.
How
You
does
don't
he
know
have
like
more
what the
game?
local men are like in these places.
Wait, Kieren, how does he have more game than local men? Please tell me.
Oh my gosh. Like, because what I'm trying to say is this. This is what I'm trying to say. You know, like, yeah, but bro, you can't like laugh without actually having
I
having seen
laugh
something.
at you because you don't know what game.
Okay, like if you go to Bali and see what the local men are like in Bali, just see what they're like. They are so submissive. They are so shy. They are so like this.
So Kieren, how does
That's why. This is why. I'm just explaining why these passport bros are attractive to these women in these other countries.
Kieren, so this is what I'm saying, Kieren. How are these guys different if they're going over to another person's country and basically doing the things that that country requires them to do to get the ass? So meaning he's coming all the way, like, answer me this. Why doesn't he have enough game to get the Filipino to come see him in America?
What do you mean? Like she can't afford the flight. He needs to meet
Okay,
her
so
first.
if she can't afford the flight, why can't he instill enough game in her? Say, hey, one of these goofy dudes that come over to the United States to meet you, get money from them and come see me. Why can't he do that?
That's game.
Well, I don't really get the argument. I'm not saying these.
That's why you don't get it. That's what
I'm not saying that they should do it. I'm not saying they should. I'm just telling you why.
No, Kieren.
And the crazy thing is, all I'm doing is explaining why.
No, Kieren. But the problem is,
that's it.
You don't know what game is because you're trying to say a loser. Just because a loser goes to a foreign country, he has game. That's not game right there, buddy.
No, what I'm saying is there's tiers. There's tiers. Like not all cultures. What I'm saying is that not all cultures are created equal. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but that's
what I'm saying.
So Kieren, how does the guy have game when he's coming over to wherever and paying a woman for sex?
I think we're kind of talking about different things here. So I'll just here's like my perspective on like what Kieran's trying to say, what I think he's trying to say, because I'm in Peru right now, and what I've been told by Peruvian women is that they prefer American men because they see Peruvian men as weaker than the American tourists who come here. Not necessarily passport bros, but the deal is different because there's more travel.
Stop. You lost me when you said what I've been told by blank woman.
Fuck what they think.
What the fuck are we talking?
Yeah, exactly.
No. But also, real quick. They're going to say that because that's running game on American men. So if they say, hey, listen, I prefer American men. Oh, really? So when he comes over there, she's like, I prefer you than these other guys. So then, yes, he's going to pay for all the things. He's going to give her money. He's going to do all the things. See, what you guys don't understand is that the women over there understand why you guys are over there, which is to get sex. So they sell you what you want.
Is it honestly so shocking to believe that there are places in the world where men from the West are just inherently seen as being more attractive?
Because if that was the case, is that so crazy? Kieren, if that was the case, they wouldn't have to pay.
Right, that's the point.
They're looking but look, look, what I'm saying is, look, there are obviously men who go and do like sex tourism, right? Now, when I'm thinking of a passport bro, I'm not thinking of a sex tourist. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. I'm thinking of a man who just goes overseas and takes advantage of the fact that now when he's in this developed nation, he's more attractive and he just starts dating women. That's what I'm talking
Okay. And
about.
so why would she think he's more attractive unless she sees, even if he's not paying her up front, down the line, she may get some money from him. Why? Because that's the stereotype of the American man coming to their country. So she's already looking at you because what makes you attractive, hold on, what makes you attractive is that you're from America. America equals he's probably rich or has a lot of money. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So she's not, because if that was the case, Kieren, if that was the case,
that.
No, but this is what I'm saying. If that was the case,
it isn't just that.
If that was the case, how come he's not attractive in America?
Because, okay, let me just try and explain it.
Great question.
Right? But I'm from the UK, right? Now, when I was growing up in the UK, America was this land at the top of the hill where all of the best looking people were, men or women. All of the best music came from there. America was the shit. And I and everybody else I knew, we looked up at America because America was the pinnacle of what was cool, what was desirable, all of that, right? What I am saying to you, and that's as a result of like movies, TV shows, listening to music, all of that kind of thing. That is a global phenomenon, right? Where there are places in the world where you go there from other places and people just automatically have a higher impression of you because you're from that place, because they have seen it on Netflix, they've seen it on Disney Plus, and they've always wanted to be a part of it. And then you come from that place and you're representative of that place, and every good idea and every good image they have of that place is encapsulated in you, and then they want to date you. That's what I'm saying. That actually goes on.
They want to date him for a reason, because they're Mark. They're these guys. Okay, if you can't communicate in America, what makes you think you can come to and be a ladies' man in a foreign country? You can't be a lady.
Okay, so please, okay, here's what I'll say.
I'm lost.
Okay, what you got to realize is there are countries that you can go to where the women have less expectations in terms of, let's say, like personality and game, where you being a shy American man actually makes you.
All right,
this
Kieren,
is the truth.
Kieren,
This is just the truth.
Kieren, excuse me. Listen, man. Do you hear that you are literally basing your value as a man on what a third world bitch has to say to you?
I never said that.
What makes it worse?
I never said that.
All of her
That's not what I said.
are from fucking streaming shows and TV.
That's not what I said.
No, but Kieren,
I'm
this
saying
is what
that there are places in the world where people think that men from America and places in the West are of higher value. So when those men go over there, they will get
and
more
Kieren,
Kieren,
you know what? Kieren, I agree with you. You're right. I'm gonna tell you why you're right. They do think that you're cool because you're from America. What you're not understanding is that them thinking you're cool does not equate to them thinking you're sexually attractive. Them thinking you're cool, right, in essence, equates to them looking at you and perceiving you a certain way. And then when they actually meet you, they realize you're not that.
You open your
then
mouth.
Also what happens is that the perception is that they already know that the guys that's coming from America, because part of what makes us cool is the thought that we're affluent, that we actually have money and we have resources and all these things, which they don't have in the countries these guys are coming from. So what I'm saying is what's attractive is the idea that this guy can save me. Not that I'm actually desiring him sexually, which is why, Kieren, which is why they have to pay for sex.
But what I am saying is, if you remember what I said is, I'm not talking about men who are going overseas and paying for sex. That's not what I'm talking about at all. There are men who do that, yes. I am saying that there are lots of men who go overseas and take advantage of the fact that when they step into this new nation, they are more attractive than they were back home, right? And if you were to see the locals in some of these places, you would see. Now, do these men automatically become the most attractive men in that place? No, but they get a significant boost. And that significant boost is what allows them to...
You made a statement.
Hold on. I just dropped. Hold on. I just said something. What was it?
Okay, you said take advantage of. Men don't take advantage of anything. So you said take advantage of, and men don't do that. And I get what you're saying. I'm not knocking a man that's doing business in the country. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck off some money and get some pussy, whatever. We're talking about the passport bros that go over there for pussy. They don't go over there for anything else but for pussy. Because they, just like the other guy, they're taking.
I have said that I don't think they should do that.
Kieren,
I'm not saying that they should.
Kieren, answer me this.
Mm.
What dictates a man's value and attractiveness?
Why?
I just need you to answer the question, bro. Don't ask me another question.
Purpose, confidence, drive.
Okay,
looks
thank you.
To a very little degree,
Beautiful.
status.
Beautiful.
What?
So what does any of that have to do with the mindset of a Filipino bitch in the Philippines?
Thank you, dog. Facts.
Because
What do you mean?
you're not listening to yourself, I don't think, because you keep saying, well, a man, he goes from here and then he comes to here and his attractiveness is bigger and better because
in that place, yes, in that new place.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Once you buy into the narrative of your attractiveness being dictated by the people in that place,
they are buying into it.
You're buying into
it. It's happening.
This is what.
You know what the crazy
Boss
thing
is like, this is what
is? This is the crazy thing. This is the crazy thing. It's like you guys are basically saying, we noticed that when we put the kettle on and we press the button, the water boils. And I'm saying, oh yeah, water boils at 100 degrees. And then you're losing your shit. Like I'm saying some crazy shit. I'm not saying that these men are on the right path. I'm not saying that I agree with them.
You're saying that a lion is intimidating when he goes to this country versus when he's in that country. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
But a lion is intimidating wherever the fuck he is. That's what we're trying to say. So what I'm saying is if you have to go.
But so these men aren't lions. Like, what is the
right?
Exactly. That's what we're saying.
Yes.
What you're not getting about what I'm saying.
That's what you just said.
There are countries where, let's say, a house cat goes to that country and people think the house cat is closer to a lion.
No, they still think he's a house cat.
Right.
They're selling him that he's a lion. That's what you're not getting, Kieren.
And I am telling you that after having I've lived in Bali for like a year and a half. I've seen this with my own eyes.
They tricked you the entire time that you were there.
They tricked me. What do you mean they tricked me? What do you mean me?
You're tricking him to get his big black penis.
They allowed you to buy into the narrative that you're more attractive in that country.
You're not. No. The very fact that you just said, the very fact that you said that you don't get my point. You do not get my point. You are not getting my point.
No, you guys
just said they allowed me.
You guys don't hear yourselves talking.
No. Let's get it clear. When I was in Dubai, I was dating Western women as well as the local women. Right? They didn't trick me, nothing. I saw things going on with my own eyes while I was there, and I have pieced things together.
Which country are you most attractive in? Which country are you most attractive in?
World cities.
Huh?
Like I said earlier on, a world city like a London, a Miami, places like that. I'm most attractive in a world city.
You're most attractive in a world city. Why is that?
Yeah, well, hold on. No. Let me go back.
Oh, now you got.
What I'm saying is this: dating apps, where the woman cannot actually see your energy. She's just going by her split-second impression of what you look like based on the pictures. That's what I'm talking about. Because yes, you're a man and you're who you are and you carry yourself with confidence. Yes, of course. However, but on a dating app, people don't see that and they're just going off their snap decisions.
I'm
the most attractive in world cities.
There's no however. With a man who understands and knows himself, there's no however. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. There's no however. What are you even talking about?
If I wasn't a real man, I wouldn't be standing up to you like right now.
No, if you're a real man, you wouldn't be saying this feminine things you're saying, buddy. It's crazy.
Feminine shit.
Yeah, because
I'm saying I understand why people do.
No,
things.
you shouldn't be understanding. But understand that.
Cool.
But you're thinking about this, buddy. You're doing it through the bitch's eyes. That's what you were trying to tell you. Your understanding is coming from a bitch. Who gives a fuck what these bitches think?
Bro. Let me just tell you something about me. I can understand anything. That's just me. That is just me. I never see something and think I can't picture how that is going on. I can picture it.
You're flexible.
Sweet.
You're
That's
flexible.
what you want to call it.
You're understanding.
That's what you want to call it.
No, what you're saying. You keep talking about what the bitch sees, and she sees is mightier than this and mightier than that. Who gives a fuck what she sees? Why?
So let me ask you a question, Kieren. What makes the woman?
Why it happens?
So Kieren, what makes the woman see the guy from America as high value? And what does that do in regards to him getting what he wants?
I didn't hear what you said.
So what makes a woman overseas see the American guy as high value, and how does that relate to him getting what he wants?
I mean, I explained it quite clearly like 5 minutes ago.
No, do it again. I want to hear it. Just real simple. You didn't explain how it pertains to him getting what he wants. Well, how does he get what he wants through that?
Because, I mean, it's kind of clear. It's just like, let's say a woman meets Drake. She's going to have a certain hate, well, maybe not today. Maybe let's say frigging Kendrick. But there's going to be a certain halo effect that's going to go on. And a certain degree of inherent attraction that she's going to have. Now, to a lesser degree, to a way lesser degree, that's basically what's going on.
Okay, so
and then she's got the frigging, like the lights in her eyes.
So basically, okay, so Kieren, so what you're saying is the American man is going overseas because he wants a woman to use him for his resources as an American
and his status.
Right.
I'm not saying he wants that.
No, but that's what I asked. I said, how does he get what he wants? What does this typical
how does he get
guy
what he
want?
He meets her however the hell he meets her. He takes her on dates or does whatever the fuck he does. He tries to kiss her and then he has sex with her. What are we talking about?
That's porn.
So that's what he wants is sex.
Sex/love, yeah.
Okay, so my question is the woman fucking him because she's sexually attracted to him, or she fucking him because he's American? And does she love him because she loves who he is, or does she love him because of the perception of him being American? Which one is it?
It can be all of the above.
It can't. That's the part you don't get.
Can, like, different people are different.
He can understand anything.
No, but Kieren, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It can't.
Different people can be different, bro.
No, this is what I'm saying. It can't, because if she's only dealing with him based on the fact that he's an American, that means she doesn't care about the guy he is. Yeah. So what happens is another American can come through and snatch her up quickly. Another American can influence that woman. Another American can make it to where she's not even going to listen to him. So the love or whatever he wanted, he's not going to get because she never liked him. She liked that he was an American. So that's what we're trying to get you to understand, is that the fact that he's coming over there and she only wants him for his status and the fact that he may have money, that means she doesn't like him.
She only wants him for his status. I never said that. I just said he's more attractive.
But that's what I'm saying. He isn't, because
he goes there. What I'm trying to say, you know what? The truth is, you don't really get what I'm saying, so we might as well.
Are you trying?
This. What I am saying,
maybe we should separate the passport factor from the I forgot what I was going to say, but separating the politics of it from the exotic factor. Maybe I don't know.
We probably can move on to another question, because we ain't never going to see.
Let's move on to another question, because I think a lot of what we were saying really does answer the question, because the bottom line is this. There's nothing wrong with experiencing the world. But if you feel you have to go to another place for you to be or feel more attractive, then something inside you is broken. That's just the bottom.
But here's the crazy thing, bro. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Well, yeah, I agree. Understand everything.
I don't disagree with that.
All you guys can at least agree on passport bros or the reliance, the people who choose to be a passport bro going specifically to another country only to date. I guess you can all agree on that level, right?
They're sick,
yeah,
and they're fucking prostitutes.
Right. Yeah. That's what we saying. We just saying they ain't got no game. Period.
They ain't got no game. Yeah, just bottom line. They ain't got no game.
It all leads to a lack of
game,
confidence and belief in yourself. That's really all it leads back to. Now, honestly, like me personally, I have a desire to like move to another country for two reasons: for the food, which affects my health, and I want to find a place where the money exchange is good too, so I can continue to do business in the United States and be able to to live cheaply in another country. But that is the only reason. That is the only reason, because it's not about getting women, because I can get women anywhere in the world. But I know certain things about the food in America and things like that. So that's the reason why I would want to leave, the United States, even though I love this country. I love the United States.
I see. Yeah, I don't really understand the passport bro thing, but maybe this could be an opportunity because a travel thing sure is interesting. There's immigration, there's tourism, and there's sex tourism, and there are passport bros, all kinds of different things. So, how about, I don't know what kind of question to ask, but let's say you go to a more international city. I haven't been to Bali myself, but London is considered a very international city. Dubai can kind of be international, I guess, and various other cities like this. Um, could we talk about more the exotic factor and separate the green card game that the women are trying to run and just
What do you mean the
and
exotic factor? What do you mean?
Yeah, explain that exotic factor. What do you mean?
by that?
So let's say you move to or just anyone moves to an international city, and it's what do you call it? A melting pot of culture, people from different ethnicities, nationalities, and so on. It's not the case where, let's say you go to the Philippines and 99% of the people there are Filipino, Filipina. But you go to the city, maybe like Singapore, I don't know, I've never been there, but it's a mixture of so many different nationalities. It's not that you're the 1%, you are the American. It's that you are just someone, maybe you're Swedish, maybe you're Japanese, maybe you are American, maybe you're from fucking Mexico or something. You're just there, and there's a mixture of people, but you have your own individual exotic factor. Oh, you're Mexican. I don't know what I'm trying to ask, but
What are you? What are you trying to ask? I'm trying to roll with you. What are you trying to ask, buddy?
I appreciate it. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a way to separate the passport bro.
Okay.
Also, I think you're trying to
Argument
say
from
that you're
this
not a
to-
passport bro, but you're in a different place.
You're
And
you're just
does that-
international.
and how does that
my daughter
affect
is
you?
Okay, but
my daughter's mixed race. She's half Peruvian.
No, it's cool.
She's half Latina. So
no, I'm just saying. I'm saying ice. I'm saying, well, okay, here's the problem. People understand the game. We're making it about places, people, and things, and we're not making it about ourselves. So regardless if the guy is a businessman, right? Okay, if he's a businessman, he has what we call book smarts. That means that he did well in school, he knows finances, he knows, and he goes off to an exotic place. He's not good with women. Just because you're good with book smarts doesn't mean you have game. See, when you have game, like a dog 1950 always say, you can drop him off with a bottle of water and come back a week later, and you have about 3 or 4 bitches like feeding him and cooking for him, because he's not the environment doesn't make him. He's going into the environment, and he can make the environment whatever he wants, because a man that has game doesn't give a fuck if it's on Mars planet or the planet of nuke. They're gonna fucking do their thing, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
I
think
see.
that was
I
Ice's
see. Yeah,
question,
you got it.
respectfully.
Another disagreement, huh?
But but not a major one. I'm saying I don't think that's what Ice was asking. The way I'm interpreting his question is, maybe I'm wrong, what's it like when you're dating women who don't necessarily feel like you're above them or something? It's not like a passport bro situation, but you're just this curious kind of oddity, or you're unusual to them. Where
Yeah.
I guess that's basically what he's asking.
We are.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying real quick. Sorry, we're talking about. I'm saying we are unusual to them because they've never met real fucking men. That's why we're unusual to them.
One of one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're not used to motherfuckers. I'm not buying. I don't need to buy that bitch a drink, and I don't need to feed her fucking ass to get that pussy. See, when you had this game, you can go in with your mouthpiece and win her over. So I'll throw it to you, Miles. You got it, man. I didn't mean that with you. You got it, brother.
No, you're good. I just wanted to. It's along the same lines. I'm gonna be exotic, bro. Because there's only one Miles Cunningham on the fucking planet.
There's a
Everywhere I go, I'm exotic. What are we talking about? This is the problem with you guys. And I'm not trying to be offensive. I swear to
You
God.
guys.
And I know my voice is coming up or whatever. But please don't get offended. But what I'm trying to say to you is that this is how the average guy thinks. You think that anything that makes you exotic, attractive, valuable is outside of your fucking self.
Right,
You have to compare yourself to, well, because I'm a German guy living in Peru, then that makes me exotic. No, you're exotic because there is only one ice white on the planet. Kieren, you're exotic because there's only one Kieren Brown.
Bro, you don't have to do
No,
all
that's
this.
No.
Look, it's
Because
really not necessary. No, it's not.
Karen,
It's
go.
not like
Hold on.
no, bro. Like the kind of
Let's rephrase this. We're kind of
signaling. It's
You
just
understand
it's not
that's
important.
passion. That's not
I
passion.
know I am the most unique.
You don't
person
know
on the
that.
planet.
You don't know
no,
that.
I do.
You
I
want to know
100% do. There is nobody like me
know
who
it because
exists.
listen what you
That is
You do.
literally the fact. That
look
is
what's
it.
coming out of
Right?
your
You don't.
mouth,
None
dog.
of this is
You
necessary.
you think a
None
guy
of this
you
is
think
necessary.
is
Bro,
necessary
this ain't
because
necessary.
as dating
What
let
are you
me
trying to prove?
correct those that need correction because young man, I've been on
What?
this planet longer than you, dog. Got
Right.
more game on my finger than you have. So please understand that you can't fuck with someone like me. So I think you need to listen to the motherfucker over
Meaning
here.
what?
Yeah, listen
Meaning what?
over here.
So now what?
Me-
We're challenging each other now.
me, I don't need to challenge
Bro,
you.
like what?
You already lost the moment you open your mouth said these bitches
Yeah.
are important. What I'm saying to you, big dog, is this.
Saying these bitches are what? What did I say?
I'm saying to
What
you,
did I say?
you said,
Well, what was it that you
everything
said that I said? I
no,
lost
I'm
opening
saying
my mouth
that
saying
we
what?
answer your question and you can't handle it.
Bitches is
And-
important.
Right. And Miles,
What bitches are important? What are we talking about?
You said the ones overseas that think you're high value because you're an American. That's what we're talking about.
that's the ones you think bitches are
So
important.
I said, okay, what you can't judge a whole bunch of people that you've never met.
I don't
Like,
give a fuck. What I don't have to judge.
you know what I mean? Like you're saying like they're whores. How do you know? Have you been overseas?
Oh, wait.
You
What
met
is
any
a
of these
woman?
people?
Wait. Do you a loser goes to a country and a woman gives him pussy and he knows he's a loser. Do you think he's a winner? Do you think
No.
wait,
I don't.
okay. Hang on.
That's the
I
point.
understand.
Well,
now, I understand now.
can you actually understand nuance?
Hold on.
Do you understand nuance? Do you get a nuanced argument at all?
Hold on.
I asked a
Like,
terrible
bro, like,
question,
guys,
so let me just
I didn't
rephrase
come
it.
here to like to argue. I came for like
Kieren,
civilized
you're good.
conversation.
Kieren, you're good. You're
Like,
good.
what are we
It's okay,
doing?
it's good.
No,
What
you're
are we
good.
doing?
You're good. Go ahead, Ice. Please get back
Yeah,
control of the show.
I butchered that fucking question, but the way Kieran said it made a lot of sense. So basically, let's just remove Philippines from the equation. Let's remove Malaysia from the Indonesia from the equation. Let's just take London, for example, Singapore. Let's just pick fucking Singapore. Strong economic power, strong passport, maybe whatever nationality someone is in Singapore. And I understand what you guys are saying, Miles, Steve, Mr. Rosario. You're a man, you're an international man. Just anyone. On your own mission, you get your own business, whatever. But let's just separate this and not talk about the passport bro thing anymore. Let's just talk about a normal guy who just travels internationally, not specifically for dating. Something more like Miles, it's business, it's food he's after, and he's just traveling to places. Is there any kind of particular dating advice you can give around this that is not related to
He's got to learn game. He's got to learn game.
passport bros?
He's got to learn the game.
What have we been saying the entire show? Everything comes
It's just the same.
back down to confidence and what you believe about yourself. You guys can do anything you want, bro. You could talk all these narratives about exotic and different attraction levels and all this other shit. If you don't have confidence in who you are, it doesn't fucking matter. Matter of fact, the less confidence you have is the more you allow these narratives to affect your thinking, to where you would ask a question like, oh, so do you think you're more exotic here or there? What the fuck? Bro.
That wasn't what he was asking, and this is the crazy thing. Like
all right.
none of what you're doing now
bro.
is actually necessary. All he's basically saying is, "Oh, has there been anything interesting that's happened as a result?" So I don't know. You met a girl who was Mexican.
No. Okay, I see what you're saying,
Karen.
Karen. This is basically what happens. So the thing is that I'm the interesting thing. So I do the same thing with every girl. So if I meet a Mexican girl, We going out for
But
drinks.
that's not even what he was asking.
So what is he asking then? What are you saying?
Sorry.
Okay, so let me
explain
say
it.
how I have interpreted the question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Right? Let me say how I've interpreted the question. It doesn't have to be about, yeah, man, I'm the top dog, nigga, and I'll do this and this. But the question is, as I'm interpreting it, is okay, so you went overseas, you're in Japan. You met a Japanese woman. You spent time getting to know the Japanese woman. And maybe there was like a cultural misunderstanding, or maybe you learned something about her culture, or just something interesting that happened as a result of dating around the fucking world. Yes, you're the man. Yes, you go and you put yourself out there and this and this and this. But has there been any intriguing circumstance that has occurred as a result of meeting people from different places?
Okay,
That's
I
it.
got you.
That's
The answer is still the same.
Yes.
No, because what I'm saying is that if I meet a Japanese girl, I'm going to do the same thing with her that I did with the Mexican girl, that I did with the black girl, that I did with the white girl. So what I mean is I only deal with women on my terms, period, which means I do the same thing.
No, okay,
so Kieren, check this out.
That's all well and good. But
No. So this is what I'm answering the question. Hold on, let me finish. So what I'm saying is that her culture or whatever she doesn't matter to me, because I only pay attention to women who follow my lead.
My directions, yes.
That's it.
That's
There
it.
I was thinking Mr. Locario was going to go to Tokyo and go to one of those maid cafes, take her there just for the fun. No, I was fucking around.
Okay. Let me answer the question.
No, let me answer the question.
Let me answer the question I think Ice was asking. No, let me just answer the question I think Ice was asking. And answer it in a way, it's not about being a bitch or not knowing your value. It's just an interesting thing that happened. All right. I had never really been into Asian women, right? Like the Chinese, the Japanese, that kind of thing. This wasn't really my thing, like whatever. Yeah. One day, a couple of years ago, I was in Bali and I ended up meeting a girl who was from Hong Kong. Yeah. We met, we had a date. She turns up to this day and she's wearing like you get them, the dresses with the embroidered like dragons and gold dragons on and things like that. She's wearing that from head to toe. And her hair is really shiny. And she carried herself with like a lot of grace. And I'm there and I'm like,
Geisha.
Women from where I came from didn't have that kind of vibe and energy. And it was interesting. I was like, I get it now. I understand it now, if you know that reference. That's it, bro. That's it. It doesn't have to be deeper than that.
No,
it doesn't have to be like this deep thing about I'm a man. Like
no,
you can notice something interesting and be like, okay, there we go.
I'm interesting. See, you making it about the bitch again. There you go,
bro.
Because she had slick back hair.
That was the question.
Kieren.
That was the question.
No, let me answer the question. I'm gonna answer the question. So the interesting things that interesting thing that may come up is that I may have to take out my Google Translator to understand what she's saying. Another interesting thing that might come is that I might go somewhere and have a certain type of food that I never tasted before. Another interesting thing is that she might tell me something about the politics or the history of the nation, and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. That's interesting. Okay, does that answer the question?
Yeah, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. I'll just say on top of this, what I'm gathering from you guys is you're saying game is universe, essentially. So let's just leave it there.
And no woman or culture is more interesting than me.
So it's just a matter of adapting or not to whatever extent. But let's just go on to a better one. Should guys be building attraction or assuming attraction?
They shouldn't be doing any of that shit because they do it for a bitch, so they already fail. Anything you do for a woman, you fail. So you shouldn't be doing anything for a woman, man, at all. So if you're building attraction, that means that woman has more power over you because you're doing something for somebody you don't even know. And that's weak and that's soft. But Kieren, go ahead and tell me you disagree. I'm waiting.
No, I actually agree with you 100%.
Okay.
Now, if you realize there's nuance to my points, bro, I agree with you. You're right.
Right. So yeah, I think a man should. I mean, if he is building attraction, if that's the term that we're using based on the question, building attraction meaning that he's building attraction for himself in his own life. So that means he has a plan. He has there's a difference between just going to a country and and, you know, just letting things happen. And or there's another thing where you do your research and you build an itinerary. Like, so day 1, I want to visit the thing. Day 2, I want to go to the Eiffel Tower. Day 3, I want to visit this restaurant. Day 4, I want to, you know, try this food. And then so you have your, you know, you have your agenda. You understand? You have the thing. See, there's a difference between living by default and living by design. You understand what I'm saying? So the man that lives by design, that is him, like, to me, constructing the experience that he wants to have in his life. And I think that in itself is what makes a man attractive. A man enjoying his life, enjoying himself, enjoying who he is as a person, enjoying the experience that he's having on this planet. That's what makes him attractive. Because no one, man, woman, child, whatever, wants to spend time with a person that doesn't like their own life, or doesn't like themselves, or doesn't like the experience that they're having on this planet.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm surprised. I agree with that too.
I was going to say real quick is that, you know, I know the building attraction thing is like more of a PUA term, like a pickup artist term, where it's like, you know, well, try to get the girl to be attractive to you by you doing these things. And then assuming attraction is essentially kind of like the same kind of PUA term of like, you know, assuming that the woman is going to be attracted to you. But the thing is, if you are an attractive man, right, you're going to attract. So a lot of times what happens is some of these terms puts men in a position where, and this is what Steve was saying, where they're trying to do things in order to get the woman. So what I always tell you guys is this: men with game don't get women. You understand what I'm saying? We allow women to get us. So when you have game, you allow a woman to get you, meaning she has to prove to you that she's even worth your time. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of guys, when they're trying to build attraction, they're like, what can I do to get her to like me? What can I do to get her to sleep with me? Right? When you have game, you're not trying to get her to do any of those things. You're sitting there evaluating her to say, okay, is she good enough to have my time, attention, dick, and so forth and so on? You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these things, a lot of guys don't realize that when you are doing these terms, and I use some of these terms too to get you guys to fucking pay attention, because I know this is the thing that triggers your mind. But what I'm saying with these terms is you have to understand that when you are doing certain things, you're saying something to yourself. You're saying, if I have to pass her shit test, that means I have to chase her to get her. If I have to build all this attraction, that means I have to do something in order for her to approve of me to get with her. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful about the things that you're thinking and saying to yourself when you're, you know, interacting with these women in a dating game.
All right. So I'd like to add something to that, because I agree. And something I realized about the PUA industry, the pickup industry, whatever the fuck we want to call it, is that it's basically set up by men who felt like they weren't worthy, they weren't good enough, they did not have what it took to get women. And they learned the techniques and strategies to enable them to fulfill that aim. But then that initial core of not being good enough, it's built into a lot of the methodology, or just like a lot of the terms that people use. So yeah, if you are building attraction, like the inherent assumption behind the PUA industry is basically this: you're an average man, or maybe even below average. You don't have what it takes to be like a real top tier man. You don't have what it takes to be a man of worth. And the best that you can do is learn some techniques that will allow you to trick a woman into believing that you're that guy, so that you can actually get her into bed. When really the core is actually who you are as a human being. Do you, like one of the brothers just said, do you love the experience of being in your own skin? You know, like people talk about being comfortable in your own skin. Everyone uses that phrase. But it's like a few years ago, I realized how right that phrase actually is. Because people who aren't comfortable in their own skin actually aren't comfortable in their skin. They don't like the feeling of being themselves. And that is like the core thing that men need. But again, it's built into the PUA industry that you're not going to have it. And what you need to do is figure out tricks to con women into thinking you do.
I'm glad you said it, not us.
Right, exactly. That's
Well,
exactly what we've been talking about.
I've been trying to
We're best
explain.
friends now.
There's nuance. There's nuance to my points. This is what I'm trying to explain.
Right.
But anyway, it's right. I like the fact that we've managed to lighten the mood. I like it. Right, let's go.
Great. I was just gonna say, yeah, those are like PUA terms. It was interesting what Miles was saying because he mentioned building attraction is like a PUA term intended to, just like when Marcus Wolf was debating Mr. Lucario, convincing her to like you, essentially, is one way you can phrase it. And then assuming attraction. Oh no, just to go back to Miles's point, understanding building attraction in terms of building up your life in order to be attractive, not for the women, but for yourself. That makes a lot of sense. So that's an interesting way to think about it. Assuming attraction, I don't want to like nitpick terminology and stuff like that, but just vaguely to draw off this idea, assuming attraction is kind of emphasizing that when you're talking to a woman, you don't assume that you have to build attraction, but you just assume attraction. She's ever attracted or she's not. You're not bothered by that whether or not she is. But I think assuming attraction kind of makes sense for most, is more in line for most of you guys. But you'll have your own terminology for that, maybe. Would it be fair to say maybe you're not assuming cooperation, but you're looking for cooperation? I'm just
No,
not
well,
too
the thing is,
familiar with
go
your
ahead, Steve. I'll go.
Yeah,
teachings.
we give women this weird thing that no one else does. We give them free will by honesty. That's it. We're gonna let her know what the fuck is going on, what is, and if you down, cool. If you not, who gives a fuck? We don't care. I mean, again, we just don't care. Again, when you get pussy thrown at you, just don't care. You just don't. So we don't assume, and a man should never assume or anything like that. He should just be honest with a woman, and this what these guys can't do. They can't be honest. We had someone today. We told him 3 simple steps, and he can't even do the simple steps because he doesn't even believe in himself to do the steps. But yet he's trying to get attraction. These guys are trying to get relationships, but they don't have one with themselves. They're trying to get attraction from women, but they're not attractive to themselves. So they're trying to get everything outside of themselves. But we teach them, you got to get that shit in yourself first before you can get it from her.
Because also, too, remember the terminology, even when you say assume attraction, assume basically means to think of something to be the case without proof, right? So I don't have to assume that I'm black. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I'm black. Like I'm just using that as a simple example. So what happens is when you're saying assume attraction, what you're essentially saying is I'm kind of just thinking that I might be attractive. And what I'm saying is that when you have game, you know that you're attractive. You know that you're valuable. So you know that you are attractive, which means that you attract. So then I don't have to assume anything, or I don't have to build anything. The thing is the recognizing of who you are. That's the problem. A lot of guys don't recognize who you are. Like even the other day, I heard a video where a guy was like, being yourself is the worst advice ever. I'm like, no, that's actually the best advice ever. The problem is most guys are not being themselves. So they think the guy that they're being right now is themselves. It's not even themselves. Because that same guy, he sees a girl across the room, he says in his mind, listen, I'll fuck the shit out of her. But then when he musters up the courage to go over there, he says nothing about sex, nothing about fucking the shit out of her. He says everything else except for that. So is he being himself or is he not being himself? You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times what happens is that these guys out here, they don't realize that they're listening to things that's taking them actually farther and farther away from who the fuck they are, which is why they think they have to do goofy shit like pass her shit tests, assume attraction, all this other nonsense. And this is why these guys follow all this stuff, because if you actually knew that you were that guy, if you loved yourself, this would sound silly to you. You see what I'm saying? But unfortunately, too many of these guys, they don't really know who they are. So this is why they're running around in circles doing goofy shit.
So I agree with what you just said. And I think it's actually a brilliant point. Another thing I'll like to add to that is women don't make you happy. Like they don't. And I've said it countless times to clients over the years. It's like no matter how many you get, you always move the goalposts of what you feel like you need. I've got a client I was on the call with literally today. So when we started working together, this guy got absolutely nothing, like zero. He hadn't had a date in like 3 years or so. Now he's basically saying to me, Kieren, how can I schedule in all of these girls? Now he's got too many. And now his problem is how he can fit it into his life. But the crazy thing is this, and I even explained this to him. his level of happiness hasn't actually changed. He's actually, even though the outer situation has changed, the way he feels about himself hasn't changed that much, because women fundamentally aren't the thing that's actually going to create the happiness. What creates the happiness is you and the life that you're living and the purpose it is that you're moving towards. Whether that purpose is writing novels like myself, whether that purpose is pursuing a sport, building a business, or whether the purpose is just looking after your children, whatever it is that your purpose is that gives you a reason to get up in the morning, that's the thing that you actually go for. And to be honest, like the only real reason why we even need things like, PUA or this kind of stuff is we live in a world where men have lost their purpose so much that it's robbed them of the ability to actually attract women. But if we lived in a world where all men knew that they had value, then they would just basically see going out and acquiring women as just going to the faucet, as you guys say, to make yourself a glass of water. Fundamentally, women should never be the thing that you orient your life around. It's always got to be you, your own mission, and your own principles. And the crazy thing is this: when you do that, then all of a sudden you're more attractive. Because a woman sees the passion that you have for basketball or the passion that you have for looking after your daughter or whatever it is. And she wants to be around that energy because it's inherently it speaks great things about you. So,
right,
yeah,
exactly. That's why we say the game ain't about women. But unfortunately, a lot of these guys, they want to see the women I'm fucking. They want to see my receipts. You know what I'm saying? So they think they still worrying about women. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
So what I'm
I
getting
get why
here.
that's important.
Go ahead.
What was that? I was saying
Go
that
ahead.
I get why that's important. I get why the receipts are important. Like I know why the receipts are
But it's
important.
not.
Because
That's what I'm trying.
no,
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
trying to
no,
tell
let
them.
me explain what I mean. What I mean is this. This is what I mean. So
In their
for
minds.
some guy to sign up with you, he needs to have some sort of certainty that you can help him to achieve the goal. And the receipts are a great way to show that, which is I know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to waste your money. I'm not going to rob you. I'm not going to scam you. Don't worry, you're in trusted
Yeah.
hands. I do get it. But still, in the industry, we have this over focus on, getting as many women as possible. And you've got to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself to the girls. Then you got to prove yourself to the other men. And oh, yeah, he's only had 50 layers. This guy's a shit coach. Oh, yeah, he's only had 75. So I understand where it comes from, but it is a really stupid mindset at the same time.
Right,
Women aren't the focus.
but that's why it's stupid, because it's coming from guys who have no game telling a guy who has game to prove to them they have game.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? So you're the guy who needs help. The guy who needs help is telling the guy who can help him to prove he can help him. But what you don't understand is that the reason why you need help in the first place is the fact that you're asking me to prove this to you. That's the thing, the paradox that these guys don't understand, because by me showing you who I'm fucking with, I'm essentially putting the woman on a pedestal. But then at the same time, how do I teach you not to put women on a pedestal when I'm putting the woman on a pedestal? Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any fucking sense. The thing is, he doesn't know what he doesn't know.
I get it, but I do get it. But at the same time, it's like there are people in this space who don't know what they're talking about, or are either like liars, con artists, or whatever. So
right, and that's what I'm saying. That they're the con artists, the ones that got to show you and see. They have to prove to you because they don't believe in themselves. Right. So they know that. Well, listen, I'm just like the guy I'm trying to coach. I don't believe in me, so I got to prove to him that I'm who I say I am. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem.
They never go to school going and say, well, before I walk into your class, you've got to prove yourself and show me your receipts. They don't do that. They go into class, they sit their ass down and they listen to the lesson and move forward. But it's only because a lot of these unethical motherfuckers, they manipulate these young men and dangle pussy in their faces. That's unethical. The game is not about women. And what these guys always do is they dangle these women. They dangle hired models. They dangle women that they pay for and all other stuff to try to prove that, okay, just because you're on a yacht with a bunch of women or you're in a house with a bunch of women, that doesn't mean shit. But to a gullible individual, that's disingenuous, because you shouldn't try to make someone think that, well, you can get these women here, just like a TV commercial, if you follow me. That's not the game. That shouldn't be. You should be off the merit of your mouthpiece. You should be able to hear somebody teach you things and say things to you that you never heard before. You don't need to see what he has, because if anyone had if those guys really had game, they wouldn't be showing the women on the front end. Because if you have game, all that stuff happens on the back end. A man who has game doesn't show what I have. He stands on who he is. And just like a teacher don't our teach when Mr. Brown, when you were in school, elementary school, whatever, did you say, well, whoever your teacher was, well, before I step in this class, you got to prove to me that you know how to teach math. You know what I'm saying? You got to show me that you can teach math. And they don't do that. The school knows that the person knows what he's doing. They put him in the right position, and the student has to come in and not look at the messenger, but listen to the message. And that's the problem. We're putting out a wrong message to these young men out here.
And also that I'll say this too. This is the funny part. A lot of these guys don't even pay attention because, for example, my girl, she's been in the chat damn near every show that I do, putting up the links, assisting me with my business, all these other things. So what happens is that these guys are looking for titties. You understand what I'm saying? And so this is what I'm saying, where these dudes, they don't even understand what's going on, because what happens is, especially with like pickup artist stuff, is that the pickup artist is teaching you to chase women to get pussy, right? It's super easy to get pussy. That's nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Then on top of that, they teach you how to value a woman based on how she just based on how she looks, right? You should definitely get a girl you're physically attracted to, but a lot of these guys do that. So what they're looking for in the receipt is they want to say, well, let me see your girl. Let me see if I approve of the girl you have, and then based on the approval that I have of your girl, then I'm gonna believe what the fuck you're saying. You see what I'm saying? And so what I'm doing is I'm not going to enable someone who doesn't know game. Does that make sense? I'm not gonna do that shit, because as a teacher, I can't be doing that, because that is disrespectful to the student. And I'll say this last thing. When I was in college, I had to take Spanish. When I first came into the Spanish class, the teacher was speaking 95% Spanish. I went up to the class after him. I said, bro, I don't know what you're saying. And he said, listen, I'm speaking all this Spanish because I have to immerse you in the Spanish, meaning I have to bring you up to my level. So why would I go down to the guy who doesn't have game level when I have to bring him up to my level? So if I'm going down to his level, then I'm doing what he says. But see, if I do what he says, then I'd be him. You see what I'm saying? He has to do what I say so that he can be in the same vein where I'm at. Do you see what I'm saying? But go ahead.
So I think what you're saying is very interesting. I'm breaking it down into two chunks, because on a person-to-person level, I totally agree with what you're saying. However, then I think of like a broader term, like basically marketing, as in email lists or social media, things like this. So are you basically saying then that on your, I don't know, your social media, whatever promotional outlets that you have, you do not show receipts or things of that nature? Is that
no, absolutely not.
Because like
no,
I get it's
receipt,
like some guys like challenging you.
No, the receipt.
The receipt.
No, the receipt is 20 years in the game, right, doing this professionally. The receipt is the guys who call into the shows telling us that the programs help them to do this and that. So what I'm saying is the actual real things that are helping, they're not paying attention. Remember, these guys just want to see titties. You understand what I'm saying? So most of these guys who's asking for receipts. No. But this is what I'm saying. Marketing. See, this is the thing. I could actually go out, meet some women, take photos with them, take videos with them, and I say, hey guys, check this hot girl that I smashed last night. That could just be a girl that I met yesterday and paid and told her, hey, I'm gonna sign this contract and we're gonna do this. 100%. So what I'm saying is, how do they know the difference between if what I'm saying is authentic as far as me dealing with this girl or not? But again, that's looking at the wrong thing.
They don't know the difference.
Exactly. Right. So what I'm saying is, the fact is that the fact that they wouldn't even question is the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. If you had the fact that they have no game, they won't question me, because that's what they want to see. Remember, they want to see titties. So as long as I can provide them titties, then they'll listen to what the fuck I'm saying, even though I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. So if I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, of course I'm going to show titties, because that is going to make them believe what the fuck I'm saying. See, I need something X, just like, for example, when a guy needs to pay for pussy, you know why he needs to pay for pussy? Because he's not enough. So if I think I'm not enough as a coach, then I'm going to have to show receipts. You get it?
Don't you think you need both?
No, you don't.
But see, we're trying to tell you, I'm the receipt. So, okay, what you don't understand is when you add this game, that's why we do the shows we do live. See, the difference between us and a lot of people out there, we take live phone calls. We don't sit around and record and edit. I mean, we do a little bit of that, but we have live shows where you can come in and we spit off the top of our dome. See, that's the receipt. When you can spit off the top of your dome and don't stutter and break it down simply, that's the receipt. It's not the woman, it's the receipt and how you break it down and how you open up their mind. That's anybody can, like Locario said, anybody can hire a woman to do some shit, but but a lot of these guys, what they do, they don't go live like we do. They're scared to go live because they know if they go live and they get challenged, they're going to buckle like a fucking bitch and they ain't going to be able to, they're going to show that they're not really the person that they are. So a lot of people avoid the unknown caller. We accept hey, myself, Miles, and Locario, we all sit around and say, call in. Because there's nothing that you can ask. There's nothing that you can say. We don't have the answer.
So I don't
just
really
not
know
on video, not after what
you...
happened last time.
Right, exactly.
So I don't really know how your show works. What do you mean exactly? You know, you say like the unknown caller. So
okay, what I mean is, I talk about myself. Okay, so my shows, I always show receipts. I always play the audio clips. Yeah, I always run that for the first 5 minutes of the show. But when we go live, and like I said, I just did a 7-hour show last night. And I answered every question by myself and ran my mouth for 7 hours, and I could have gone for another 7 hours because I got game. So anybody that calls in, I'm what you call undefeated, because when they open their mouth, I already know their story before they even finish their sentence. So does Locario and so does Miles. But we try to help them understand why they're the problem, where the problem is, and how to solve the problem and think about the problem, because we don't know what's going to come on that other side. See, we say, call us. They call us. We don't know what they're about to ask, but we already have the answer. That's the receipt. We already not know what the problem is. We know how to solve the problem, where most guys don't.
Right, so I agree with what you're saying. I think there's a ton of validity to it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with using receipts in a general sort of like promotional capacity. So like you've got a guy calling into your show. And you sit down and you talk this man through his problem, and he's like, oh my gosh, that really works for me. You know what the hell you're talking about. Let me just sign up or do your course or whatever the hell it is. But then in the general sort of macro level, men who don't have the time to listen to your show, they're not listening to your show or whatever, they see those receipts, and the receipts do help. Like those receipts do go a long way.
No, but this is what we're saying though. But Kieren,
what?
Yeah, what does it help for? What does it help?
Do what? You said the receipts help. Help to do what?
I know it's just like this. It's like whenever you are some sort of coach, whether that's a fitness coach, a yoga coach, a tennis coach, you show that you have what the people might want. For instance, I mentioned Lethal Shooter earlier on. He's always doing videos of him shooting threes. Why? Because he's a basketball coach and he trains people how to shoot threes. So he knows that if people constantly see him nailing threes from half court, they'll be like, this is the man to teach me how to shoot threes. That's basically it. So I don't think like when you post a receipt, like one thing I've done tons of is I would screenshot my Tinder chats or like Bumble Hinge chats from first messaging the woman, maybe even to like the date afterwards and the sex has happened. And then I would write a article breaking down what I said and why I said that thing.
Well, yeah, but
pure marketing.
All right, but this is what Kieren, this is what you're not getting. We teach guys because they don't know that the game is not about women. So if you come to me to learn game, why would I be showing you women if the game ain't about women? This is again what I was saying earlier. They don't know what they don't know. So what I'm saying is that by me doing that, and then on the flip side, tell you the game ain't about women, they're gonna be like, well, Locario, you know what's weird? When I first met you and we started coaching, you showed me all these receipts, but now as I learned the game, I realized the game is about women. So Locario, why the fuck did you show me the receipts in the first place? You see what I'm saying?
You know what I think? No,
I get it.
Let me say something real quick. I think we need to really start differentiating what we are, because
Right.
Steve the Dean, Locario, and myself, we are not dating coaches. I'll be honest. We are not dating coaches. We are. I would say, if I just to say something right now, I would say we are game coaches. Me personally, I'm a masculine identity coach. So when we say that the game is not about women, when I say your masculine identity has nothing to do with a female, that's exactly what we mean. So the receipts come from our lifestyle, the way that we speak, the things that we say, the way that we inspire our clients, the fact that we could do a live show. You know, Steve Dean just said he did a live 7-hour show where he can answer every question. We do the same thing. We don't do 7 hours, but anytime somebody calls it, we can answer the question right away. And on top of that, if you want to do another receipt, how are we able to have all this time to do all this? Right? Shouldn't we have jobs somewhere? Shouldn't we be, punching the clock somewhere? But no, we've been doing this for damn near 20 years, helping guys and doing what we do. And again, it's not about dating. It's not about impressing a woman. It's not about women, period. So, when you ask your question, Ice White, it kind of lumps us into the dating coach like paradigm, but I'm realizing that we're really not dating coaches.
Or I would just say we're not pickup artists. So if you guys want to see receipts, infields, definitely hit up the pickup artists. But we don't do that shit.
But here's the most important thing I think that people don't understand about what we do versus what they do. I've always said that we teach people things that most people in those sectors regurgitate other people's talking points. When you have game, you should be able to, myself does it, Miles and Locario, Zag, Fifth, all the ones that have game. We teach people things that they've never heard before. That's what I'm talking about. See, if you're really authentic, and that's why I say you're the receipt, nobody teaches sex or wing except me, because that's my thing. I teach the Easter game. That's my thing. I teach them about water holes. I teach them about things, about getting their puzzle pieces, 100-piece puzzle set. That's my thing. See, I can only teach what I know. You see what I'm saying? I don't teach with somebody. I don't teach regurgitated information, nor does Miles, nor does motherfucking Locario. We just don't do that. So that's why I say we're our receipts, because when they come to us, they hear things that they never heard before. They never heard anybody say, you know what, send a woman a masturbation audio. Matter of fact, last night in my 7-hour thing, I came up with something new. You remember those stories, pick your venture? Remember those stories? Pick your venture. Right. So when you have game, you're so cold in the game, why not pick her orgasm adventure, where I can send some videos of me telling her how to get her orgasm, and she press that button and then find that adventure. See what I'm saying? See, that's the receipt. It's not me just sitting around and regurgitating, because when you have game, you show I'm the receipt, but I'm not trying to get you to be me. What I'm trying to do is trying to unlock things in you, and a woman can't do that. Just because we have women around us, they're going to be around us. And Carter, here's the crazy thing, Mr. Brown. If you watch our shows, you'll realize there are women in our shows like a motherfucker. We talk a lot of shit. We talk a lot of shit. We say these women ain't shit and all this stuff. And you know what? These women cream, and they love watching our shows. And that should be its own receipt, because the women are flirting with us live on the air. That should be.
But Steve, they're not paying attention. They want to see titties.
I know.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But Steve, where are the titties, man?
Exactly. They want to see titties.
You can see that. That's behind closed doors. That's behind closed doors, buddy.
Yeah. Titty receipts, bro.
I do have a super chat here. From Chris Lon Jackson. I met Locario, Steve, and Miles in person. They live what they teach. Their women reflect who they are. Thanks for the super chat.
Appreciate
it. So I will just say, just from what I'm taking, I learned a lot from you guys. Miles, it's your first time on Game Global, so it's great to have you here.
Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
Yours. But being exposed to Mr. Locario and Steve for a little longer now, the way I'm understanding, at least, is it's, in my own words, I would put it as, you don't need to justify your game. The game does not need to be justified. Something along those lines.
Justify himself. The master doesn't justify himself. Yeah.
So essentially, if we take this into out beyond dating itself, because it's not about dating, you're not dating coaches. Maybe your masculine identity, the words don't matter. You're teaching men.
You're teaching game, so either way, it all falls into game.
But falls under competent men with purpose. We can use all these fancy words and shit like that, but ultimately, What I'm trying to get at here is if you want to raise your own family, if you want to get married, if you want to have your own wife and stop dating, that's your own decision. That's your own purpose. So you got nothing against that, right? If you personally want to go there or if someone wants to go there.
Shockingly, I have something against it. I have something against it. And what I have against it is I don't think these young men should even be in fucking relationships until they get into one with themselves. I'm very adamant. And again, I'm not a person to tell someone to date a woman or not, nor scare someone to date or not. I respect a man for what they want to do. But one thing I always talk about and I'm starting to push is a lot of these young men don't understand that when you turn on your news, it is full of young men who don't know themselves, who start to fall in fucking love with these women and they're out of nature. And then they start to act emotional out of these rages and do harm to women. So I don't want these guys getting married because they're not marriage material or marriage worthy. Not to the woman, because it's not about the woman, but I'm saying that if you want to keep a woman around for a long time, you have to be married to the game. You got to be in a relationship with yourself. It's just, hey guys, I would say, it keeps coming back to the game. I'm sorry, it just keeps coming back.
I'll say about that relationship to yourself. I mean, it's fundamentally it's like this. Really and truly, I don't think most young men should be getting into real long-term relationships now because they don't actually know who the hell they are. And because they don't know who the hell they are, they're never really going to attract the women that are going to be right for them anyway, because due to how kind of messed up their self-images are, they'll just attract like trash. What men really need to do is this. You have to learn to fall in love with yourself, but what the hell does that even mean? You have to sit alone with yourself, as in sit down alone. We live in a world right now where everybody loves to distract themselves with TV, music, internet, video games, whatever the hell it is. We're distracted 24/7. And the reason why we're distracted is because the vast majority of us do not like the voices that we start to hear when those distractions go away.
Mm.
Once you lay down in bed alone at night, and if there's nothing playing, then you remember that you think you're fat. Then you remember that you feel like you're a loser because you're not really pursuing your dreams. Then you remember X, Y, and Z, whatever the hell it is that you're ashamed of. What men really need to do is this: actually sit and face those things. The most growth that I have ever had, my clients, anyone I really know, is, huh? Was that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say go ahead.
Yeah. Sit alone with yourself and then actually face that fire. That demon that comes up that says, I am angry about X, Y, and Z. And then now when you know, okay, I am angry about whatever it is, you've got two choices. You can either fix the thing that you're upset about, or you can learn to overcome it.
Mr. Brown, I get
What
what
about that don't do
no,
it?
Mr. Brown, I get what you're saying, but the problem is that
Mm.
if they could do what you're saying, all four of us would be out of fucking business. I'm saying if they could do that, what you just said, sit alone
You,
and figure it out
you
this.
don't think anyone can do that?
No. We would be all out of business, but they can't do it because their level of thinking, they don't believe in them. Okay, these humans,
Yeah,
I call
but
them humans. They
yeah,
can't.
of course.
You can't just sit there when you have a loser mentality thinking you're going to become a winner just because you think it. You can look, you can do it from the comfort of your home because anybody can be what they want. But when you get in front of that woman, your truth is going to come out. So it's
Yeah, but I didn't tell them to say imagine themselves as a winner, although I mean at some point they should. I'm saying get over your shit, and the way to do that is to really know what it is. That's what I mean by sit alone with yourself, because then it
but they
all
are alone.
comes to,
But
no, they're not.
yeah,
They're
they
not.
are alone.
What I mean is this. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say, right? So come with me. You got some man right now who lives in Minnesota. He
Mhm.
wakes up in the morning. First thing he does is he puts on a podcast while he's getting dressed.
Yes.
Then he's in the shower. He maybe takes his phone, leaves it outside the shower. He's playing music. All the way to work, he's distracting himself with thoughts. Then
Okay.
when he's at work, he starts working. He does his job.
Mhm.
On the lunch break, he eats some food. He gossips with one of his co-workers, whatever. He comes home. He's listening to stuff again. He goes out with his friends. He drinks. He parties, whatever. He's specifically doing things to ensure that he's never really alone with himself. That is the vast majority of people because they're scared. Because once they're actually alone, then those thoughts come up. What I'm saying is, So in the sense of him being alone, because yeah, he's like, he might not have the best social circle or he's not dating, then yes, he's physically alone. But he's not really alone with himself, because when he is literally alone, he's playing his PS5.
But
And because he's playing his PS5, he's being distracted.
okay, but caller, please understand, I'm a geek, so I've been playing video games since 1979. So I'm a geek.
Hold on, you've been playing video games since 1979.
Yeah, I'm 53 years old, so I've been I've been playing. I'm a gamer. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been playing video games and stuff.
What's your favorite game of all time?
I would say 2K football. Oh, that's going to be the Dreamcast. I think that was a Dreamcast, changed my world, but because I was online, because I had to plug up my 56 modem from
old nigga shit.
Yeah,
Old nigga shit.
56K, bro. Taking it back.
I got my drug online. That was my first.
He said Dreamcast. Oh my god.
Fuck you, man.
Well, for me, it's Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. I don't know if you remember that one.
But I'm saying,
All right. Let's stop this bromance. Get back to the fucking conversation.
Hey, I'm loving this. Saints Row 2, anyone? Saints Row 2? Come on.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, as a receipt to help a guy like that, let me explain what we do without the women. Like, for instance, in January, I always tell my students or anyone listening to my show, I'm going to prepare you for the greatest weekend of the year, which is February 7th to the 14th, and January 14th, to prepare them to then on the week before the 7th or the day before, I have them call me and I look for the places that they can go. So Richard, I'm doing all the work. So I'm saying is I'm going to put you in a prime position so you can see it for yourself. Because I say, don't believe me, see it for yourself. So the receipt is that what most guys out there don't do, and Locario does his own thing and Miles does his own thing. But what I do is to show a receipt that no one else is doing is that I prepare them a month ahead. And then when we get close to that, they can call me and I'll look for the places in your city where you can go. And then you just go, and I'll give you, again, from Miles and Locario, where they heard it, the 1 step, 2 step, 3, the 1, 2, 3. And I prepare them with a step, and then I send them out there. So I don't want them in social circles. I think social circles are the death of guys, because you don't want to be around a bunch of losers, and you don't want to be around a bunch of women you want to fuck, and you're just hanging out with them.
Facts.
Alrighty. Got a super chat here from Gift Card. Got to show receipts. The game ain't about women, but if you have game without women, then that's gay. Keep up the great content, GG, Ice Joe, and Kieren. By the way, I didn't mention this before, but Kieren Brown, he's one of my OG business partners. He's 1/3 of Game Global alongside me. And Joe, you haven't seen Joe, maybe videos or whatever, but
he said,
there's the context.
He said if you don't have game global, you're gay. He said if you don't have game, you're gay. He said
if you don't have game, you're gay. If you have a game without women, you're gay. That's
right. Yeah, he said the game is not about women, but if you got game and no women, then you're gay.
Wait, what?
No, that don't make any sense. But see, that's the thing. I'm gonna say this right here. I want you guys to remember I said this. Guys who think like this guy Gift Card or any of you other guys, I do not want you as a client. I'm just telling you right now. I don't want you. Please do not go to the website. Do not sign up for the membership. Do not buy any of the products. I actually want you to go to PUA. Like that's more of your lane. I'm being serious. Like I don't want you guys to waste your time if you want to chase pussy and you're worried about women's body counts and how hot she is. Go to the pickup artist. Do not come here. That's all I'm saying.
You want to
make sure that you guys know.
I'll throw on top of this. If I hosted a Jew panel, we'll just say, "Give me your money." It's no problem. That's why I do these different themed panels. It's always interesting. Anyway, I want to say, I was gonna say, just sorry to cut you up. I was recently watching, and this wasn't news to me, I've seen this before, 50 Cent talking about celibacy so he can focus on his own productivity. So this would be like calling 50 Cent gay. Obviously, he's not gay. He's far from it. So yeah, I'll just throw that out there.
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, I don't know how much you know about semen retention, but I've been practicing it for a few years.
Well,
I'd love to say
Lord, can I educate you? And you want me to show you who your daddy is? An ignorant dumb fool that went on Reddit in 2000. I think 2007. I gotta look it up. I'll look it up. 2007, he read an article from 2003 and created that stupid shit. He just see the thing is that
Oh, hold on. Let me just say this. Let me just say this.
Do the history on it. I'm just being honest with you.
All right, look.
No fap.
Maybe all I know is this. So, okay. As I understand, semen retention has been practiced for thousands of years, whatever. I would just say this. When I personally do it, I notice a few things. Number one, I'm more creative. Number one, I'm more driven. Number two, yeah, but bro, like you can't just do that. Like,
no, I'm sorry, it's just funny.
Like that's my experience.
Because I jerk
like,
off.
Bro, that's literally my experience.
No, I just think it just sounds funny.
Crazy. This is crazy.
That's what I experienced.
So are you saying that you can't be creative without
when I do it, I notice I'm more driven, I'm more creative. My brain works a lot better. I've got more drive and fire inside me. Like that's it.
So if you jerked off, it wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, it drops. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, no,
like
Mr. Brown, no, Mr. Brown. I've been fucking since I've been 13 and shit, and I have not dropped off. But Mr. Brown, this is all I'm saying. I respect that you're doing it, nor will I judge you for doing it. But what I have a problem is if you ever tell anybody not to do it, that's where I have the problem. Because you have no right to tell somebody what to do with their dick, and that to me,
but I ain't doing that.
Well, no, but I'm saying
we're just having a conversation.
If you do it, that's fine. Because I mean, again, I've been doing that for a long, long time, and I have a lot of success and everything. And I'm not gonna stop jerking off. Why would I do that?
Could you tell us about that? When you were 13 thing, or
what do you mean?
I'll say this: just to have a fair test.
Yeah.
Try not doing it for 2 weeks.
Why not? Why? I love me and my
because maybe there's truth to what I'm saying.
Listen, I actually didn't jerk off for 2 weeks and nothing changed. It was the same, but this is what I'm saying, because I've always been driven, so I couldn't tell the difference. You see what I'm saying? Like it's been the same, it's the same thing. Like I never had. So I think what happens is a lot of guys, they trick themselves into thinking that that's what it is, because you need a reason behind it so you don't feel like you're wasting your time. You understand what I'm saying? So if I'm like, well, I'm not jerking off and that made me more creative, right? Then what happens is that you're attaching whatever creativity you done while you wasn't jerking off or doing semen retention to semen retention.
That's being overly simplistic. It's like,
no, but that's how simple it is.
No, but like what I'm saying, life's a holistic thing. Like my brain works better when I drink water.
But that's
like, my brain works better when I meditate. There's like a number of things that you can do. So you know what I mean? It's not like it's not like, oh, I need to do semen retention. And semen retention is going to do all of these things. I'm just saying that from what I have read and also from my own experience, I have noticed certain effects from doing it.
But hey, I mean, listen, everybody got to do what they feel they need to do.
Just don't leave the kids alone. Yeah, leave the kids alone. That's all I'm saying. Do what works for you, but leave the kids alone.
And Kieren, the reason why we're saying this is because a lot of these guys are looking for a reason to stay a loser. And what I mean by that is most guys, when they talk about semen retention, they only talk about it in the sense of I'm not jerking off or having sex. But this is the key, though. They were never having sex.
I'm not an incel. I'm a semen retention.
You know what I was saying?
So this is what happens. So because they've never been having sex, they have an excuse now.
Right.
To not have sex.
I'm gonna disagree with you, but I'm gonna make a point that you might like, which is this. I have noticed that a lot of men who are into semen retention, it's like they're doing it to get women. So if you see videos, you'll see people talking about how it increases your magnetism,
your aura,
and more women. Yeah, your aura. Yeah. So weirdly, they're not having sex with women to get women to want to have sex with them.
And that's the problem.
Which I think is wild.
Right. That's what
I personally think is wild.
Yeah, right. and that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is a lot of times, well, this is the thing. What I'm saying is most guys are doing something because they don't think they have the strength within to do it without doing the something. And what I'm saying is anything that you want to do, you can just do it. You don't need the excuse. So what I'm saying is that whether it's semen retention, whether it's, going your own way, whether it's passport bro, whatever the hell it is, it's something that guys are doing, or, looks, money, status, high value, whatever, anything that guys are doing or gravitating to so that they don't actually have to look at themselves. You see what I'm saying? So you have a guy who may, let's say, for example, is lazy. And he says, man, you know, maybe I'm lazy because I'm jerking off too much. So let me stop jerking off and then maybe I'll not be lazy. And it's like, no, nigga, just don't be lazy.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you got a guy who's jerking off a lot, right? Why is he jerking off? He's usually jerking off because there's some emotion he doesn't want to feel. There's something he wants to detract himself from. And that's what he's doing. That's what he's running from with the jerking off. Now, hold on. When that man stops doing it, now all of a sudden the times, just like a man who's like, I don't know, he likes to drink or he likes to smoke or something, the times when he would like to drink or smoke or when he would like to jerk off, he's now not letting himself do it. And that's very painful because he now has to face the reason why he was always looking at porn or doing whatever the hell he was doing.
There's nothing wrong.
So but how does that change anything though?
Because then he has to deal with it. He either has to face the pain or actually deal with whatever that issue is.
No.
So but this is what I'm saying. He's not dealing with the issue either way. Because if you're this is what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying is him not jerking off is not going to deal with whatever issue he had. He's just now not jerking off. The issue's still there. Do you see what I'm saying?
I mean, like, yes and no. Like, yes, in the sense of now he's just not jerking off. Yes, but that thought is going to be playing in his brain now. And it's harder to not do the thing when you actually get rid of the thing that you were using to cope for that thing. When you
right, but the fact that he's thinking about it means he might as well be doing it. So it's in his mind now. So he's still occupied with the idea. So it's the same as him actually doing the action anyway.
No, it is not though. It's like it is. I'll give you an example from my life. Right. So I don't know, this was like 15 years ago or something like this. I was terrible with money at the time. I'm at home, I'm at my parents' house. I'm just like sitting on bed. And I was doing basically everything that I've been just kind of talking about here. I was trying to distract myself with various shit, yeah? And I was like on Netflix or YouTube. I can't remember what the hell I was doing. And then at some point I was like, nah, like, let me just put this down and just see like what the hell's actually going on. I'm going to start running. So I put down whatever the hell I was doing, something on my laptop or my iPad. I put it down, I sat down, and then it just hit me like a bolt of thunder. I was like, I am unhappy because I'm terrible with money. That thought just slammed straight into my brain. When that thought slammed into my brain, all of a sudden I was like, I've got to deal with this. And then I turned into a demon. I started downloading financial management apps and figuring out what I could do to transform my situation. And what I'm basically saying is, that's the kind of shit that happens. That's why, like, when people meditate, people go on like silent meditation retreats for like a week, and they freak the hell out because for like 1 week they can do nothing but sit alone with themselves. But by the end of that week, they radiate a different aura because they overcome all their shit. And people are like, whoa, bro, what happened to you? What happened to who is this new person?
But it's like, not a new person.
I spent a week facing my darkness.
But the biggest
no, it's not. It's not actually a new person. It's a revealing of who they truly were at the core. But to the person observing from the outside, it's a new person because they didn't know that version of you.
Most of these guys are doing this stuff for and about women, and that's the fucking problem. If anything you're doing is at the end result of a woman or to get women, it is bad for you. I'm not talking about you wanting to be a financial person. I'm saying these young men are told not to jerk off because a woman's going to see their aura and they're going to see that, wow, you're a sexually attractive guy because you know how to have dick control, I guess, whatever that stupid shit they tell these fucking kids. But I'm saying all that no fap, be on your purpose, money, looks, maxing, everything, if it's at the base core women, because the common name is going to be women, it's a bad thing.
But see, this is the thing, and this is what I wanted to say real quick, because what you got to understand is I understand what you're saying, Kieren, but the problem is this: whatever you renounce, you're tied to. So, meaning, for example, these are these guys who will call themselves MGTOW, right? So this stands for men going their own way. What are they going their own way from? Women. So, as long as you are a MGTOW, you are tying yourself to women. You understand what I'm saying? Because your whole movement is based on you going away from them, which means that you need women in order for your movement to even fucking make sense. You see what I'm saying?
Can I steal man your argument then? So what I think you're basically trying to say is this. Stop me if I'm wrong. Let's say we have a man who's an alcoholic, right? Mm-hmm. So you are basically saying that if that man gives up alcohol, he's connected to alcohol because he's actively trying to give up alcohol. Whereas what he wants to do is change his identity to not even being an alcoholic. So it's like he's forgotten that he had any desire for alcohol at all. So he's not particularly going towards alcohol or away from it. He's just a different person. And this new person is now not an alcoholic. Whereas before, if he's actually giving up alcohol, he's still kind of tied to it on some psychological
Yeah,
level.
because he's not, because
he
right, because in order for him to give it up, right, he actually has to be a whole new person. So what I'm saying is that by just running away from the alcohol, you're still like saying, I'm not going to drink any more alcohol. You're not going to be able to not do it because your mind is still going to be on alcohol. You have to become a different person to realize that you don't need the alcohol like you thought you did. Because what the reason why you think you need it is because there's something inside you that is tied to that makes you think that you need that for something. And so what I'm saying is a lot of it.
I agree with that.
Right. So what I'm saying is that in your situation where you was talking about where you stopped, I guess, distracting yourself with the things and wanted to make more money, which is cool because, hey, you did what you got to do. What I'm saying, though, is that it's not about you. I say that because you said you put down the fucking iPad and all this stuff. Do you still use iPads?
Yeah.
Right, because you still like you always want to use iPads. So why are you denying yourself what you want to try to get over this thing when you can actually get through that thing and still do what you want?
What I'm saying is this. The denial of I'm not saying that a person shouldn't try and change their identity. Of course they should. Everything that you're saying, I actually agree with. What I'm basically getting at is when you stop the behavior, whatever that is, that will bring up things that you weren't aware of. So whatever it is, like for instance, with me and the money, the reason why I brought that up is because in that moment, I had no idea that I was bothered about money. I had no idea at all. If you'd have spoken to me 5 minutes earlier and said, hey, how do you feel about money? I'd be like, yeah, I think I'm all right, I guess. It was when I actually removed the thing that I used to distract myself that the thought came to the forefront. And that's what I'm basically saying. I'm not necessarily saying that that's all they need to do. I'm saying that by doing that, it reveals things about themselves that people aren't always aware of.
Right, and the reason why that happens, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying the reason why that happens is because you're already in a perpetual state of trying to distract yourself from the issue, because the issue, you already know the issue. The issue didn't just pop up. The issue's been there, but you were distracting yourself subconsciously. So what I'm saying is that a lot of times what happens is that when we're distracting ourselves subconsciously, what we think is that we have to stop doing this thing in order to fix this issue. What I'm saying is you don't have to stop the thing, meaning, so for example, semen retention or jerking off, you don't have to stop jerking off to be creative. You can just be creative. The illusion is I have to stop this thing and that made me more creative. That's the illusion, because what happens is that now what you're saying is that you are not in control of you and your decisions and how you do things. You need to make sure that this is in place here, and then I can do, you see what I'm saying?
I'm going to throw something in here. Hang on. You can use me as an example. I haven't had alcohol for more than 5 years, nearly 6 years. I was at a party this morning. I'm not kidding. This morning I went after midnight. And there were people there, especially this one woman. She was offering me beer like every 5 fucking seconds. I just kept saying no, kept saying no. Some people would give in to that peer pressure or stuff like that, but I just don't drink alcohol. Maybe you could justify it. Oh, or I did justify it at first, within the first few weeks or whatever. It's like I just don't want to be sick or whatever. But ultimately, my real reason is I value my brain just being at the default. But if there's anything you want to lead off of what I'm saying there, go for it. But yeah.
No, all I'm saying is a lot of things are distractions to blame things on other things. So it's like, well, I'm not doing what I need to do, or I'm not creative, or I'm not making things happen because of this thing. So I have to stop this thing, then I can make things happen, which is essentially saying it's not my fault, it's the thing. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, what I'll say is, personally, I take more of a holistic approach, because when I said that not jerking off makes me more creative, I believe that. But another thing I didn't say is I'm one of the most creative people on earth anyway. My level of creativity is off the freaking charts. jerking off or not. Now, so I look at things from a bit more of like a holistic perspective. So when I'm speaking about semen retention, that's more like, if I do this, it will improve my body by X amount. And if I do that, that will improve my body by X amount. But it's not to say that I couldn't do it without, because I spent years jerking off like crazy anyway, and still being one of the most creative human beings to ever grace the face of this earth. However, if I do not jerk off, that creativity is even higher. That's just a fact.
Well,
But anyway, but you know what?
Let's
I wanna
move on
say
to
this.
something
Here's
else.
what
Let's go
I
on to
do
the
wanna
next
say.
question real quick.
I got one thing I want to
I
say.
gotta head out in a little bit. So
There's one
We're
thing I want to
definitely
say.
at the okay.
yeah, we got
One
wrap
thing
this
I
up.
want to say is, like, I feel like we got off on a bit of a bad foot, but I actually agree with you guys on like 90% of the things that you say. And I think that you guys are really onto something and that you're offering a lot of value.
Yeah, you need to watch our
So
shows.
like, I'm actually, yeah.
You need to watch our shows. You'll see how creative we are.
Yeah, yeah. But we hitting that. We're past that 2-hour mark, guys. So I don't know what you're doing, Ice. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I got bounce like
I
5-10
normally
minutes.
go for
Yeah, you know what? It's
for,
actually
3
3 in the
hours,
morning for me.
Oh, you normally go for
I got
3
my girl in another room.
Yeah, I got to go in like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, let me throw in a quick question. I think this should be a pretty short one. What's your advice for short guys in general, regardless of ethnicity?
Oh, young man. Wait. I'm the little one in the group right now. What do you mean short guys? I'm 5'7". I'm a little guy. So my height doesn't define me. Never has, never will. Never has, never will.
Yeah, that's the advice right there.
Is it? Yeah.
Do not let your height define you. That's literally it. Because I'm 5'6". I'm 5'6", sometimes 5'7" on a good day.
Oh yeah, okay. So, Miles and I the same height.
I'm definitely a short guy, but
we both short men.
But you got to live your life for you. I end up, I go after, and I still approach and holler at chicks that I find attractive, whether she's tall or short. You see what I'm saying? It really, my height doesn't. The only thing that matters to me is the experience that I want to have. That's all that matters to me. You understand? And so it doesn't, like too many men, they let all these different things affect their choices and the experiences they truly want. And I mean, your soul is literally what tells you what to do, right? How tall is your soul? Can anyone tell me? How fat is your soul? How skinny is your soul? What, all this black African American shit. How pigmented and melanated is your soul? See what I'm saying? How can I let any of those things stop me? Like, come on, man. I mean, yeah, I know I probably can't dunk. I can't impress a bitch by dunking, but I was never trying to impress a bitch in the first place.
Hey, you impressed about dunking that pussy, Miles.
God damn. I love asking this question every few panels about advice for short guys in general, because there are so many, you guys know this, of course, there are so many guys who associate and I guess we were kind of talking about this the last 20 minutes, associate their failures of dating to the fact that they're short, and then they see, oh, because I'm short, I can't get women. But
that's exactly what Locario was just talking about.
Exactly.
Using one thing as an excuse so you could blame it on the thing instead of actually just saying, see, here's a problem with most people in general. We spend too much time trying to analyze why we lose instead of putting energy into winning.
That's a fact. That's
really all it is. Because you spend all this fucking energy saying to yourself, oh, wow, well, maybe if I went to another country and maybe if no, get your ass back out and talk to more bitches.
Well, it's basically fear, because it's like there's a lot of comfort that comes from basically saying, oh, I'm too short. When the man's saying I'm too short, what he's basically saying is the game's rigged against me. I don't have to try, because if I try, I'm going to fail. So I've got permission to stay a loser.
Right.
So the only other option is to walk through the fear of, oh, hold on, I'm terrified of actually risking this rejection. I'm terrified of being called out for being short. I'm terrified of women towering above me and saying, nah, you're not enough of a man for me. And he wants to run away from that, but that's actually what he needs to face. And that's it. So basically, men are just scared.
There's another thing he needs to face. We had game. You tell him where does fear live and what's his address so we can go fuck him up. They'd be like, wait a second, fear doesn't have an address. Well, what does that mean then? It's all in your head. Oh, wow. Epiphany. So you mean I was fearful of nothing? Wow, maybe I can believe in myself. Ding, ding, ding. Receipt.
I mean, that's fantastic. But if you believe that a man's gonna have that realization and they're never going to be afraid to face what
But where
once
did
was a
okay,
crippling fear
ask him where
again,
fear
then
lives. I'm saying if they believe in fear, where does he live? What's his address and what city is he in so we all can go slay him? And then that'll be his epiphany to wake up and wait a second. You mean, wait a second, he doesn't live anywhere except in my head. Ding, 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 ding. Creativity.
I say fear lives in the action that creates the fear. But yeah,
Yeah. So
but anyway,
I'm ready, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. But I just want to say, Ice White, man, I appreciate you for having us on Real
Thank you,
Talk
brother.
because you know, most people they're not brave enough to have us on. I'm gonna just let y'all know because you know.
Oh, I will say, well, you're saying that. I was just searching your name on YouTube, and I could see so many collaborations you're doing, and you say yes to opportunities.
Yeah, if they cool. Some of these motherfuckers is you know they're weirdos, so you know they like to. But yeah,
why do you say people aren't brave enough to have you on? Like,
because the thing
like,
because you know because shout out to you, at least you have a conversation with us and you know you hold your own or whatever, and most people you know most people are scared to stand on what they believe because what they believe isn't them, and so when we talk they think we, you know what I'm saying, like they think we bullying them or being mean and shit, and it's like, no, we just know who we are and we stand in who the fuck we are, period. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the thing where a lot of people don't do that. So then when we come on, they get upset because we're like reflecting.
Because all they can show is their mom's house and their penis. And
exactly. They do some goofy ass shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like
so
on the last panel we had.
A bunch of women. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the problem.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we do live in a world where people are afraid of like debate and discourse and just like rational disagreement like men.
Right, exactly. But guys, make sure to go to shoplocario.com, shoplocario.com and badboymembership.com. And then
and guys, go to masculineidentity.com. You have access to all the products, my soap, my membership, everything, the movies, the documentaries, the seminars, all that stuff. And yeah, man, appreciate you, Ice White. Appreciate you, Kieren. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you, Ice. Appreciate you.
Yes, and because of my creativity and everything, I say for all the ladies, we're going to need some beta testers for our orgasm package that I'm working out with. So if you ladies
tell me about that, this seems super interesting. Wait, what? Keep going.
No, because I'm doing something that no one on the internet does. I like a gamer. I need some women beta testers. I got an idea for a new way women can have orgasms, so I need some women that want to beta test it. No, I'm saying that's creativity without and jerk off. So I'm just saying it.
Gotta talk about this more. I know a scientist. Let's go. We gotta.
So I gotta go as well, but I'm gonna say this: go to gameglobal.com and also stay tuned for my upcoming novel, which is The Primal Gentleman.
Okay,
I'll get more information about that in the near future. But yeah, pleasure talking, gentlemen. Pleasure.
Yes, sir. Pleasure, man. Take it easy.
All right, guys.
I will just throw in one thing. I love this consistency behind you guys, Mr. Locario. Always when he says yes, he acts on his words. He says yes to
that's what men do. That's what we do as men. Men do. If we say we're gonna be there, we're gonna be there.
We're gonna be there. You know that, Locario. They don't be there. They scared.
This is why I love having
that's
you
a
guys
receipt
on.
right there.
There we go.
Or is that not a fucking receipt?
Exactly right.
Where Locario, show me your titties.
Wait, what? God, oh, this went left. Oh my God.
You lucky missing.
What a way to fucking finish.
Bye bye, man. Bye bye. Ciao.
Be safe, yo.
Peace out.
All right, peace out, man.
Peace.
Alrighty, thanks. I'll invite. It's just me now. I'll invite Mr. Locario to the Guatemalan panel, but it's just me now, so I have to end this because I'm not American, so you know I can't justify doing this panel by myself. But for you guys who are still watching Game Global, this is what we do. There was an ethnicity theme behind this. There were some dodgy questions that could have been asked, pretty much, but the reasons behind this are very honest and valuable. I don't really know what to say, but originally we did the Asian special, so it was fascinating to learn about travel, the differences between gaming native Asians and westernized Asians. So these kind of intentions, we can learn things because when I first moved to a big city, London, it was a melting pot of cultures, and I got to learn from a lot of people. So the first few days when I moved to London, I was connecting with a lot of South Africans and a few Ethiopians too. I couldn't find the white people. Um, yeah, I was going to university, so it was a real mixture of people. So Romanians and whatever. But I got to learn, and this is why I understand Mr. Lucario's perspective a bit more than others in like the seduction space. I'm not a pickup artist. I wouldn't call myself a pickup artist or whatever. I'm a married man. But I got to see how the game was like for different cultures, whether it was Ethiopians, South Africans, white South Africans, black South Africans, Romanians, and so on. So this is why we do these weird themes. But yeah, it's just me now. I'm not American, so I can't continue going on. Catch you guys on the other side. And now I gotta end the stream. So let me press the fucking button. Here we go. Make sure you fucking subscribe and all that shit.